The best I can think of, like my best guess has got to be, like when I worked at Sears Auto Center, and we were like changing tires. My best guess has got to be
fucking salesman. If one of them
like when I worked at Sears Auto Center,
commission.
And they would like changing tires.
They would fucking hate each other.
Fucking salesman. If one of them
yeah.
I've luckily never worked a lot of places like that. Hey,
so I'm just thinking it's the
when
same
I worked
thing
in
with the
sales or
dealerships.
whatever.
Yeah.
But
Both Volkswagen dealerships, but they're owned by different people. Man, they must fucking hate each other for life or some shit. I don't know.
yeah, because I guess they're the same company, but it still is kind of competition.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, it is what it is. And the dealership she bought it from there because they were the only one of the few that got selected out of all the dealerships to actually put it out for sale.
Oh, all right.
So nobody else had it out.
That's probably another reason. It's probably another reason why the other dealership was like, yeah, fuck you. You get the cars, fuck you. Yeah, we don't get to sell them.
Yep, seems silly to me. It seems kind of like, why would you have a franchise? Like, why would you not?
It seems petty and fucking childish, dude. For sure.
Like, and like weirdly inconvenient for your customers, like too at the same time. Yet I don't know. Like, either way, it's an hour drive. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So I mean,
it's not the worst thing in the world, but
brand new toy.
It does seem fucking silly. Yeah, that's crazy. You can power your house? Did you say you could power your fucking house?
Yeah, so it's an electric car, and essentially, like, at night, you don't really use a lot of power over the whole course of the night.
Oh, okay.
Compared to what you use during the day, right? So, you know, more of the lights are out, and not everybody's up and on a computer, so a lot of the computers are just shut down or sleeping or whatever. And, so you're good to go, you know? Like it'll have enough power to last the whole night and keep everything running, and then charge up again during the day in the morning.
Yeah,
is the goal. Pretty cool. And if it doesn't work, she's got everything ready to go to add like batteries to the system.
Yeah.
So I mean, if that's not enough, then she can switch it over and have like batteries installed and have it all work the way a normal solar system would. But it would be cool if the car did it that way, though. We're hoping it'll work.
All right.
Plus, we're also still connected to the grid, so should the car not work, we're not going to be like in a weird limbo with no power. So.
Yeah. Sounds fairly fail safe.
Yeah, but it would be nice, you know, for like, because we had a short blackout for like, I don't know, 16 hours or so. I think it was like blacked out. I'm not really sure because I was asleep for a lot of it.
Right.
You know, it would be nice to have the car for like days like that where we get, you know, the power goes out and we can run it off of the car and be like, all the other houses are all dark, but we still got power, bitches. You know, like that kind of thing.
Right. Indeed. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, man. I didn't think they would make something like that, dude.
Yeah. Well, you know, they have electric vans now, fully electric, you know, full size vans.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't think that was going to be any sort of vans, trucks, anything like that for a while. Obviously, out of my price range, I think they're like $50,000 for a fucking van. The very lowest.
But yeah, you're talking
model.
You're talking like an actual like conversion van type, not a minivan.
Yeah, not a minivan, a full-sized van.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking.
And they even have them in like the long wheelbases, so like you can get them like super long.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. You can go completely off grid for the van life people out there.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, you know, wouldn't it be kind of cool if you had the van and you were like, you throw some solar panels up on the top, you know?
Yeah, dude, I was thinking throwing solar panels all over the fucking thing. Sides, fucking back, fucking anywhere that it might. Yeah,
well, I think you could put...
Like, I wouldn't care how fucking hideous it was, dude. I'd be like, dude, it's all fucking solar panels.
Well, no. Here's the thing. I don't think you can do that.
Oh, I got you.
I think it would be pretty effective.
They're pretty effective nowadays.
Like, you put a rack on the top of your van. and you throw, you could easily fit 5, maybe even 6 on a big enough van.
Yeah.
Pretty good sized, powerful solar panels, more than enough to charge that van up within an hour or two whenever you, with the sun. Plus, I would assume you're charging just while you're have that system running all the time.
Yeah, it would be weird
if it makes any sense to
no, you can't run the thing and collect solar power. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I would assume that you'd have to figure out how to make that work if that wasn't something that worked. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that'd be pretty fucking badass, yeah. Be generating your own gas, like, as you're driving. Like, that's fucking crazy. Not really gas, but,
Yeah, energy. Fuel, whatever.
Your own energy, your fuel. Plus, if a lot of those people like to go pretty far off-grid and just stay out there for, like, a week or two at a time, it'd be pretty... that would increase your range for how far out you could get into the fucking middle of nowhere. If, you just recharge it whenever you fucking want, like just by pulling out of the shade,
Yeah. I mean, worst case scenario, you get a couple of cloudy days and you're stuck somewhere, but you're going to be fine.
Whereas, the gas-powered motor, you might be able to go out about 150 miles and then you have to come back in. This one would be like, you go out as many miles as you want.
Yeah, as long as you can get sun on that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Who the hell just joined?
Samaj.
Hey!
What's going on? Oh, I accidentally deleted
way early
the
today.
slideshow.
Oh, way. You lost all the pictures and everything?
I have them on a backup. I haven't put them back on yet. But,
gotcha.
Suddenly I found out all my stuff was being saved automatically onto some sort of OneDrive thing that I thought I had uninstalled. Some update put it back on, and then another update fucking just started directing all my saves to that file for some fucking reason. I was very not happy about that. I hate using this cloud storage. I'm not interested.
Yeah, no, I understand, dude. Yeah.
Not that my data is any fucking value to anyone. If I should be like, what crippling credit card debt? Actually, no, I don't have any credit card debt anymore, but I'm still poor. It would just be a waste of their fucking time.
I'm always neglecting all those notifications I get about my cloud storage is full. I'm like, I don't use it, I don't care. And then I think it just got fed up, and it just the notification came up. I closed it, and then it automatically opened to say, "Oh yes, pay $12 to get so and so amount more." I'm like, I don't care.
Oh God, yeah, I am not. I've never figured out how to stop the emails telling me that I have cloud storage space, that it would only cost me $12 now, but I better act fast because that won't last.
They will never. Yeah. They will never turn off. All technology these days come with built-in malware that's always gonna send you that kind of thing because they want more money. It's not enough that you buy their products. They want you to continuously buy something.
I think favorite. Have you used any of the movie editing software, like movie video editing stuff? Mm-hmm. They always have an update every year, and then and it doesn't really do much of anything usually, and they'll always sell it to you on a discount. And they'll be like, normally $600, but for you $30. Mm-hmm. But the sale only lasts for 6 days, and it's always $30. It's never been whatever amount crazy amount they pretended they were charging.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're charging fucking what would that be, like a 20th? 1/20th of the price, alleged retail price? Yeah. You're sure. I'm sure people are paying that.
It's like, it's sort of one of those, don't go fucking take a job at the place that always has a now hiring sign up.
Yeah. I think it's a shitty place to work.
I think some people overestimate the value of certain programs. Like I enjoy Photoshop. I'm not gonna pay was it $20 a month just to use it? I want to buy a program and just use it.
And then you can just download GIMP.
Exactly. There's so many competitors. I don't need Photoshop.
Yeah, and,
You guys
and
have
downloading, and the best part about GIMP is it's not even illegal. So like, who fucking cares if you want to download GIMP and not pay for Photoshop, and you get the same results.
And if you want to buy some art programs, and a lot of them have like a one-time fee, it's like, yeah, they're just as good. The other thing that a lot of people tend to forget is like you have other free softwares that can do many different things. One being Blender. Like not many people realize that Blender is not just a 3D program. It's also a 2D program. You can use it as an illustrator if you wanted to, and you can do 2D art if you want, like 2D animation on there if you want to as well. It's also has a video editing software, and I think there's an audio editing in there. It's literally an all-in-one. They just don't promote it as much. And it's a little more like everything with Blender. It's more complicated than it needs to be. But once you figure it out, it's just
video editing in and of itself isn't that complicated. At least not just like cutting and splicing scenes and that kind of stuff. Running most of the basic stuff is pretty easy to do.
Yep. So you could do a whole lot with. Like I haven't edited a movie in a long time, or a video in a long time, so I probably kind of want to start editing again. But yeah, if I was to, I'd probably start using Blender, because it's like, or even like there's other like free video editing softwares. I think DaVinci Resolve is something I've heard a lot of, which is nice and free. It can do pretty much anything. So I don't know. Don't really have a reason to buy all this big expensive software. But at the same time, I mean, I understand that some of these businesses want to stay afloat. So it's like, how are we going to make things, work? Like, say what you will about, like, it's either that or they start charging more money for, like, so it's like, if you want to get Photoshop, it's like $20 a month. Or, I don't know, why don't I give you guys like $100 for just one time? It's like I'm willing to do that, but I'm not doing $20 a month.
Oh, and it's like I'd rather use the OBS free than pay a monthly subscription for a better service for streaming. And I
think part of the reason why some people do that is because they get steady work, and so they can afford to do that. Or if you're still like relatively an amateur, it's like
yeah. If you were running like a podcast that made money as opposed to what we do,
exactly,
you would definitely be able to afford that, and it would probably be worth it just because it's not a pain in the butt.
Yeah, we'll pay money, or also some people are just comfortable using a program that they've been using for a while.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, why would I want to relearn a new free program? Which is fair enough. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, Blender's got all that shit that you want, but the learning curve is fucking intense.
I imagine.
Not to mention, like it sometimes doesn't always work because they've had multiple updates, and sometimes things work and sometimes things don't work. I tried to learn like Blender because it had a feature to do like a wave, so you can just make an object and then make that object whatever it is have like a wavy thing, like it's on the ocean. It's like a built-in feature. I thought, okay, that's relatively easy. Oh yeah, and I saw a tutorial. I thought, super easy. It never works. Like I don't know what it is. Like part of me is thinking it's something I did. Maybe my settings aren't set in a certain way, which could be. Because I fucked around with Blender and then I don't know what I was doing. I was just playing around. Maybe I fucked something up while I was fiddling around with stuff. I don't know.
Weird. Yeah, who fucking knows? It's Blender.
Yeah. Well, and then you have other free programs like Audacity. You guys ever played around with that?
I've used it a few times. Tried to use that to sync up some of the karaoke recordings and stuff. So
Audacity is really nice, but one of the things that I didn't realize when I was playing around with it is that it saves your previous features. So like I was playing around with it one time, and I was listening to a tutorial about how to edit your voice so you sound like an evil demon or something. and I was playing around with it, but then the program crashed on me, and it was like late, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm not gonna bother. I'll do this tomorrow, and I didn't use it for quite a while. I don't remember, and then I come back to it, and I'm doing some other recordings, and I'm recording something else, and I'm filling around with the features and whatnot, and I'm doing everything on this tutorial. I think I was trying to, I was trying to figure out how to make myself sound like a woman, sound like a different person. I'm like, oh, okay, this will be interesting, but I didn't realize it saved the previous settings. So it has the demonic stuff combined with the female features. So when I hit play, and I had to record this downstairs because there's always background noise like dogs and cats and all the other kind of stuff. So I go downstairs. It's like 10 o'clock at night. Headphones on. This evil, demonic, childlike voice comes out of my computer, and I'm in the middle. I'm in downstairs in the basement. It's dark. It's echoey. This fucking demon voice is coming through.
Sounds like a fun time, man.
It was probably one of the scariest things I've ever heard. It's all because of the fucking.
Yeah, you thinking your fucking computer's possessed or something?
Or that there's a ghost right behind me or something. I don't know. I'm like, fuck.
You don't need a program to sound like a woman. Just complain about stuff and then get mad when people help you try to fix it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. God damn it, no. No. We want a little bitch, a little dog.
Oh, man. So how is it having assisted, quote unquote, we'll call it quote unquote assisted fucking suicide become the leading cause of death in Canada?
It's a scary thing.
Yeah, we're gonna withhold your pain meds, but if you want to die, that's cool. It's your choice, bro.
Well, I'll tell you this much: it's not going well for our political class. Justin Trudeau is not doing very well. And you want to know how bad he is? He was the poster child for the World Economic Forum, and which is having their little conference right now. Justin Trudeau was not invited.
Ooh.
Your fucking masters are having a thing, and you're not invited. That's when you know you fucked up.
Damn.
That's something now the deputy prime minister, she's still going, Christine Freeland, but Trudeau not invited. Like, okay, yeah, true. they no longer have his support or have their support. So I'm like, that's a clear sign he's gonna get gone. And you know that he's gonna go because did you hear about like the prime minister of New Zealand?
Yeah, they finally stepped down.
Yeah, she's stepping out. I think it was like no later than March 1st or something. So she's checked out. But also people have been talking about how like because the way she's been running things, it's real bad. Some people are saying that there's probably going to be criminal charges brought up. It's like, yeah, that could happen.
I hope so. Even though it's New Zealand, and so like let's be honest, like nobody really cares about New Zealand except New Zealand. Other than like if it's something entertaining, like a funny story.
I mean, the only time I ever
still a precedent of somebody being held responsible for some of the criminal shit that happened over the COVID lockdowns. Yeah, that's a good start.
The only time I ever really cared about New Zealand is when they filmed the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
You're
right. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does appear to be a really beautiful country, but yeah. Beyond that, if you're not going to see the fucking
natural beauty in New Zealand's gotten fucking spades for sure.
I have to wait for all the insanity to calm down before I can even think about planning a trip or something like that.
Man.
All right.
New Zealand, I don't know, man. New Zealand's just crazy. But then again, the whole world's gone crazy. And then also, speaking about crazy, apparently you guys down there in the States got yourself a bad situation. Apparently,
you're gonna have to be more specific.
Yeah, well, apparently you guys have what's called a debt ceiling, like the limit as far as you can do for debt and borrowing, and you've reached it.
Oh yeah.
I heard this like I don't know, my government, like Justin Trudeau, has been trying to get us bankrupted for a long time, and he still hasn't done it, even though all the controversies and shit. Like, he's been working overtime. Biden apparently surpassed him. That's another thing you Americans are good at getting.
Yeah, well, they've just been printing money. I mean, especially with handing it out to fucking
Ukraine
for no reason, where they're like, oh, Ukraine needs all the money forever for some reason, and it's totally not getting funneled through him and back into our pockets. We would never do that. You know, I'm sure for every $1 we donate to Ukraine, if you could put it in one of those charity things and they could get the information and figure it out, I guarantee you, like 20 cents actually goes to the Ukrainian military. 20% probably goes to the fucking the president of Ukraine's fucking private bank accounts. You know, him and all his cronies that he's greasing their palms. And then the rest of it's going right back to our politicians and going into their private bank accounts that no one gets to know about.
Yeah, it's a huge fucking money laundering scheme, dude.
Yeah, it's definitely that's definitely what's going on. Like, I think you'd have to be out of your fucking mind not to realize that. It's like that, like a lot of that crypto shit that went down. It turns out like a lot of that crypto was basically just a way to launder money for the Democrat Party. That's how they were covering a lot of those riots and a lot of the other shit that they were pulling, the ballot fraud and all that other shit.
Yeah, the FTX guy apparently was doing shit with Ukraine there for years, I guess, or for a while anyway. Yeah, he was definitely involved in that shit too.
Yep. So that's nice. But yeah, that whole thing is just fucking crazy. Yeah, I'm glad we don't live in Canada, because that is dark shit.
Oh, the whole assisted suicide?
Yeah, man.
Jesus,
especially because it's like, it's not a joke. They like, people would just not be allowed to have medical treatment and then offered the option to suicide because they're in incredible pain because they're not getting painkillers. And it's like, that's not a choice. You're not, that's you're murdering somebody.
That's fucking
like, let's be
evil,
honest.
dude. That's some evil fucking shit, dude.
And then there was some social media where some nurses and doctors, I guess, were bragging about all the people they've assisted to suicide, many of whom are like uncommunicative. We've determined that this person who's incapable of speaking for themselves has decided they want to die because it would save us money.
Yeah, dude.
It's like, that's
welcome to the monkey house, dude.
That is scary. And now they're talking about...
All right, you guys don't know what I'm talking about. It's a story by Kurt Vonnegut, Welcome to the Monkey House, where it's basically a story about how people are fucking, basically old people. They can live forever. So there's these places where they go that the nurses are essentially like just hanging out with them, keeping them company, but trying to talk them into finally killing themselves.
Like, could you please just die, kind of thing?
Yeah. I'll try to link it. It's a short story, dude, but it's good. It's Vonnegut. If you're a fan of Vonnegut at all.
One of the things they were talking about that I was listening on a thing, they were saying that one of the they want to they're going to start trying to lock us into like small areas geographically, so you're not allowed to go travel outside of like your county without permission, or outside of your city without permission. Like, you'll have to get, like, that's their next goal. Like, they're going to start that up in the UK, in like a city starting up like next year. And the whole thing is essentially, it's going to be like, if you want to leave, this city, this county, whatever, you have to get like permits and ask permission and have a good reason.
Wow. Jesus fucking Christ.
I don't know how they'll try to do that in the U.S. other than with more lockdowns. I mean, that's the only thing I could think.
Yeah. Just completely fucking restrict your movement.
Yeah. So that's a thing. I don't know how. I mean, that could be total bullshit too. I don't know. But that was an interesting thing that I was hearing, and I was like, God damn, that's fucked up. But in the U.S., I don't see it working because we literally have it enshrined in our Constitution, like the right to assemble. So, like, I don't
that
think
doesn't stop a whole
has
lot.
the right to determine whether you're allowed to go anywhere, ever.
Yeah, it doesn't stop them from trying, though. It's like that fucking.
Well, I think that would be one of those
crazy
things.
white supremacy shit.
That would be one of those. Oh, that crazy fucking law that you saw, the one where you get for thought crimes. Yeah, I'm like, you can't arrest anybody for anything unless you can prove some form of intention to incite. You know what I mean? Like, if you were online and you were talking to somebody, and you were be like, hey, you know, I'll give you like $500 if you fucking X my wife off or my husband off or whatever, right? And then they had like video of that or, you know, screenshots or whatever, like proof that it happened. Then, oh yeah, I understand. That's a crime. You're literally helping start a crime. But yeah, I don't know. That's some serious shit where it's just like you said some things that were mean about like one group of people online. So and you know it would only affect you if you were white. That literally would also only be among your white. That would be the other reason why I don't think you can pass it in the U.S. But fucking, you would be in charge of trouble because you made fun of somebody at some point. You know, like, oh, I'd have to take this channel down. Like, there's no fucking way.
But yeah, it's not stopping them.
At some point or another. This is not worth leaving up.
Yeah. Fuck, I forgot the specific details of this, but the ATF like declaring handguns are basically like
handgun stocks,
short barrels or whatever. Yeah.
Stocks.
Yeah. Dude, that's nuts, dude.
It's not even their purview. Like, there's no reason they should have that authority. I have a feeling
they're just like
that's gonna be some interesting Supreme Court law because it's definitely not just gonna go through.
Yeah.
Like
no, it's obviously they're trying to like reinterpret some shit the way that it absolutely doesn't apply. It's fucking insane, dude.
Well, that might end up making it even more permissive to get a whole bunch more shit. Like that might change a lot of rules.
Yeah, it might really backfire.
Because that's one of the earliest things that they used to justify. So, like, short-barreled rifles, essentially, was one of the first things they used to justify trying to take away guns. Mm-hmm. And then hand stocks were, like, the second, I think, handgun stocks, because it wasn't a short-barreled rifle, it was a pistol with a handgun stock. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, you know, there's a lot of stuff where it's like, we would look at that and be like, oh, no, that's a rifle. And they'd be like, oh, no, that's not a rifle, sir. That is indeed a pistol. And that is a short handgun stock on the back of it. And you're like, what? I don't... So, yeah, it would be interesting to see what happens. It's intrinsic to a lot of the shit that's regulated and legal and illegal. I'd love to see get rid of the fucking machine gun clause, because there's no reason for you not to be able to have a machine gun.
Yeah, that is fucking bizarre. So, yeah, like, they don't manufacture them anymore, right? Like, the only ones you can really get are ones that are already existing, and even that's fucking almost impossible.
It's super expensive. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about like $50,000-$60,000 at least for the very cheapest, shittiest of the shitty for a Sten tube.
Right.
You know, from like fucking World War I.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking ridiculous, dude.
Interestingly enough, and I did not know this, you can just make guns.
Yeah, as long as they're not like for commercial, like you're not trying to sell them.
As long as you're not trying to sell them, you can make whatever the fuck you want. So it makes me wonder.
Yeah. It doesn't need serial numbers or anything.
Can I just make a machine gun? Like, is that
probably
legal?
not?
Like, can I just make myself one? I'm not selling it to anybody. So I mean, like a tube machine gun is really, really fucking simple. Like it's a bunch of sheet metal pressed out and fucking folded around and shit. There's very little in the way of like forged or like whole parts. And they're really, really reliable because there's so little going on.
Yeah. Yeah, or even like an AK doesn't have a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
It's like kind of one of the reasons it's had so much staying power is it's fucking incredibly simple, but it's incredibly durable.
Yeah, so if you, just made yourself a similar design that maybe, changes just a couple of the little things that we figured out over time need to be changed, so it's not technically an AK, can you just make yourself a fucking gun? That's curious now.
Yeah, they definitely do fucking, pretty quality knockoffs in like I guess like Eastern Europe especially. Because you can get an AK made in the fucking original AK factory or whatever, but it's like fucking, I don't know, $700-800 or something.
Oh yeah, there's so much demand.
That's not that bad. It might be a lot more now. I haven't checked it in forever, but yeah, but you can get them for like a third of the price. Like knockoffs made in fucking like Bulgaria or somewhere like that.
True.
Because yeah, again, incredibly simple, pretty fucking easy to produce.
Everything is too easy these days. Those kids have it too easy.
Yeah, it's just crazy that a fucking gun that was designed, or originally 1947, is still pretty fucking widely used.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, it's get it right. They that's what they did. They got it right in the first place. So.
I had read a book about it because the guy Kalashnikov, the guy that fucking designed it, had a pretty crazy history where he was like kind of a fugitive from justice in the Soviet Union, but then he ends up fucking
from justice.
Yeah, there was I can't remember the specifics, so I probably shouldn't have brought it up, but yeah, but basically somehow he ended up getting in the good graces of everyone. And like Tokarev was a guy he designed like a pistol back then or whatever.
Yeah.
The TT something. Like they had a competition. It was a competition, and like Tokarev, who was like the best known fucking gun designer, like looked at the AK, the prototype for the AK-47. He's like, well, I'm not winning. He's like, this gun is going to win. As soon as he saw it and looked at it.
Damn. Well, that's fucking pretty impressive.
Well, they put them through hell, dude. Like to kind of check their durability, like in that contest or whatever. Like they drag it through sand and shit, and do the water, sand, all this kind of shit, and the AK would still keep firing.
Damn.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Fucking yeah. I mean, because a lot of guns, like, you jostle them a little too much and you're having issues. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd heard like during the Vietnam War, like if they found an AK, they'd throw the fucking M16 away. Like, I'm just using this. Way fucking better. Because the M16s were not designed.
Better gun every time. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. It turns out heat and humidity and M16s do not go together.
They don't?
Yeah, shocking.
Oh, it's so educational. But then again, you're talking to a Canadian who's never fired a gun before, so yeah.
Yeah.
It was
turns out
one of the big fucking issues in one of the wars. Which one was it? Vietnam, right? That was where it was the biggest issue.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, maybe Korea. I'm not sure.
Oh, maybe
I've seen
Korea
Vietnam.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, trying to think of which one happened first.
Didn't Korea happen?
Korean War happened. I don't remember now. I think it did. Jesus Christ, I should probably know that. I definitely know that World War happened before World War II. That I'm sure of.
I don't know, man. They can be tricky sometimes.
Yeah, the names are ironical.
Oh man, you know what? We still would do better than those people in those the videos where the guy walks around and asks questions, like real basic ones, like what's on the what's on the fucking the mountain with all the faces on it. Damn it.
Yeah, Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore, yeah. And then they give you one where, and they give the answer. There's like 3 of them are answered for you, and then the other one is like, what's the, is it like Hitler or something or Trump? And they're like, oh yeah, it is, isn't it? And you're Like, Jesus fucking Christ. No, Trump did not get his fucking head on fucking Mount Rushmore. Relax.
Yeah. Yeah, the greatest ones of those man on the street things like that is they're like, oh, yeah, I'm a teacher. And you're like, oh, fuck, really?
Man, have you... Oh, teachers are fucking dumb.
Yeah.
There's
really?
there's no fucking requirement for teachers to be capable of, like, thought anymore.
Yeah, just indoctrination now, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jesus, I mean, you've seen the fucking math, haven't you, right? I mean, that crazy, like, you know, where, like, they break it down into steps that make no, like, sense in any
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Common Core shit.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name. But it's like, where it's like, in order to figure out, like, 2 times 4, you're like, well, 2 times 4, well, that's 2 4 plus 4s divided by 2. You know, and you're just like, fucking what?
Yeah, it's
like,
fucking nuts.
You guys are just at practice. You haven't done basic math in a long time. Things have evolved, don't you know?
Yeah.
I think they honestly mostly use calculators, dude. I don't know that they teach the kids all that much shit anymore.
Yeah,
they just let them use calculators.
If I had a kid, I would definitely be homeschooling. Like, holy shit. There's no fucking way I would let those people poison that kid's mind. And it ain't even about, like, the left-wing, right-wing shit. I just, you know, I'd want that kid to understand basic, like, math and English and science. It's not even about, like, oh, no, they're going to pollute my kid's head by showing him a dildo or something, you know? Like, that's not even the concern. I just want this kid to be able to figure out how money works when he's fucking older and he has to figure out, like, how to pay his bills, you know?
Yeah.
Common Core math is not going to help you with a budget. You know?
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, well, it's all rote learning, too. Like, there's, you know what I mean? They don't do a lot of teaching. Even when I was in school, I mean, they didn't do a lot of fucking, like, teaching you to think critically. You know, it was just fucking, hey, memorize this shit. Don't think about it, just memorize it.
Oh, yeah, because that's what you gotta do with certain things. You know, like, you have to have a base to build off of.
Yeah. I still feel like they should do a lot more to fucking, you know, teach the kids to think for themselves a little.
I think...
Because, I remember it.
You want to be careful about anything that allows for indoctrination from any perspective, really.
Yeah.
And I think that if they have a really solid foundation of the basics, critical thinking should come pretty naturally. You know? Like the ability to use critical thinking should be a pretty natural thing if you understand how science and math and language and stuff works.
Dude, I remember when I was in college, like one of the professors or whatever was I forget what it was he asked us about, but basically like, everyone was like and then he fucking kind of railed about he's like, see, this is what happens with public education systems. You guys are like actually afraid to give a wrong answer. It's like, just guess. It's not, you know, you're not going to get in trouble.
Nah.
I'm like, yeah, it's pretty accurate.
Well, I was talking to my coworker the other night. There's a weird thing now, it kind of seems like, about doing hard work to achieve a goal being like a bad thing. Like, it's not enough to be good at something. You have to be good at something without having appeared to do any work. And I don't get that. That doesn't make any sense. Because, like, you respect the guy that spent, 50,000 hours playing his guitar until his fingers bled, and now he makes, amazingly beautiful music. Even more because he spent all that time doing it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they almost like scoff and sneer at you. Like, no, I just worked really hard. And like, fucking loser.
Yeah.
Got to figure out a shortcut so you can fucking be lazy.
Well, it should just be given to you.
Yeah, the entitlement is definitely a fucking issue.
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't like that aspect of where culture is shifting.
Indeed. Basically, civilization is screwed, is the bottom line. We're all gonna fucking die.
Well,
we had a good run.
Well, I mean, that was always the case.
I'm exaggerating, dude.
Clearly,
I know. The future looks bleak at the moment. But you never know. You never know. Don't want to assume everything is going to go to hell.
Well, when you said we're all going to die, it's like, well, I mean, that's always been the case, though. Like, that's not new.
I mean, like at once.
Oh, at once. Okay, because we were all going to die yesterday, and tomorrow we're all, still going to, die at some point.
Nah, not me, dude. I'm opting out of that.
I would if I could. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I would not.
Yeah, I know there's people.
I envy people that want to live forever. I wish that I had a desire to live forever.
It'd definitely be interesting. I want to see what happens in like 5,000 years, man. That'd be hella cool. The sun goes supernova? Like, that's going to be a crazy fucking period of time. Are we going to figure out another place to live? Are we gonna set off on spaceships that just take our whole like living environment with us? What's the deal?
Yeah, that does seem to be, what most of the sci-fi stories about that kind of shit are. You got generational fucking spaceships, dude. It just has all the kind of shit on there that keeps people sustained and let them have kids, let their kids have kids. These gigantic fucking spaceships.
It's like a space. It's like a space fuck ship.
Yeah, little space. God damn it.
Space.
I don't know what I was
collector.
Hey, but I lost it. I don't know why, but I was thinking about the Mouse Utopia thing.
Mouse Utopia.
Where the guy was trying to create like a perfect, he was doing a bunch of these, they call them universes, but basically they're different sets of places where they had a bunch of mice in them under different circumstances.
Like, the best possible circumstances for mice. For some reason.
Like what would happen if they have plenty of food and plenty of space. Unlimited food, not unlimited space, but way more space than they need.
Okay.
And those ones would actually get fucking would die out faster.
Oh, like there's got to be some
ones
sort of challenge
where shit was kind of scarce. Yeah. Basically, like the mice would all start just kind of preening and fucking like have like the elites or whatever that would just kind of fucking hang out and not do anything, and then the other ones would like when what would happen is basically they would just end up fucking all the time. To the point where, like, if the mom has kids, the kids are nursing or whatever, like the male mice would be going in there and trying to fuck them, and just constantly pestering them, like not letting them nurse their kids, just wanting to keep fucking all the time. So all the fucking baby mice would end up dying off because they weren't getting fed because they wouldn't leave the mom alone.
Because the mom was busy getting some fucking tail. Getting some rat dick.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts, dude. Where the term behavioral sink came from, I guess. That's what he called it. Where it just goes down the drain, I guess, is what the term is inferring.
That's a pretty good example of a society that's gone down the drain.
Yeah,
the children are dying because the fucking parents are too busy fucking.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily the mom's fault, but like she'd be in her nest, like trying to get away. You know what I mean? And they would still just go right in there and like, hey, let's fuck. Yeah, don't worry about your kids.
Yeah. Why are you worried about the kids? Fuck them. Literally, I mean, once the mom is done, maybe you can go and get the kids next, right? Papa Rat.
Yeah, you would think so, dude. But yeah, they can't think that far ahead.
Or maybe rats are like more morally like built than humans. The rats are like, yeah, I'll fuck my woman until like our babies starve to death, but at least I'm not having sex with the babies, you fucking freaks, humans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you fucking weirdos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
like,
the Rat City experiment was definitely a very creepy one. And the guy did create like a great big city, Rat Utopia. Or was it mice? I can't remember.
Yeah.
It was one or the other.
I think it's right. I'm sure it was rats, but I'm not 100% on that. It might have been mice. Hold on, I'll find it, dude.
Part of me thinks maybe I'm getting the experiments mixed up, but I think it was called NIM, and that was the basis.
NIMH. Yeah, because the movie. Yeah. NIMH.
Which
National Institute of Mental Health, I think, is what it's called. NIMH stands for.
And yeah, I mean, like that's what was kind of weird because I remember watching that movie as a kid, The Secret of NIM, and I really enjoyed it. But then you look back to the actual like context of it all, it's like, oh, that's kind of frightening. Like it goes from like a rat fantasy or a mouse fantasy movie. You find out it's more like a science fiction.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Okay. Yeah, it was mice. I had it backwards. It was mice.
Crazy. There was a study on Hope that was sort of like similarly fucked up. Well, maybe a little darker in that case. Basically, they would take and put rats in like a tub of water so that they would drown and see how long they lasted. And they're like, I don't remember, like I don't know what the exact numbers were, so this is just random. So it'd be like, the first step to test it. They just dumped the rats in there, see how long they lived. It was like 5 minutes before they all drowned. And then they did a thing where they would put the rat in the water, and then just before it gave up, or just right after it gave up and was gonna drown, they would pull it out of the water, dry it off, let it catch its breath, and like get some food and sleep, and then they'd put it back in the water. And the second time, it would last like an hour.
What the fuck?
Because it had hope that there was somebody that was going to save it. Supposedly, I don't know if this is even a thing that really happened. I just heard it on.
Oh, okay.
I heard it on a podcast, but it was on Rogan too. So it's
yeah, right. No, well, there was a swimmer. I forget if it was across like the English Channel or maybe from Cuba to Miami or something like that. But anyways, it was a really long distance swim that they were doing, right? And basically, at the end, like she fucking, it was all foggy and shit, and she was super exhausted. And she's like, all right, I'm tapping out. All right, pull me up. And she was literally like 500 yards from fucking shore.
Yeah.
But she didn't know it because it was super foggy and she couldn't see it. So she was literally 500 yards from being done.
Yeah.
Or at least far enough out to not be in the breakers or even hear the breakers. So maybe not 500 yards.
Was far enough away that she wouldn't have known how close she was without the visual, but close enough that she could have finished without having to give up.
Yeah. If she knew where she was at and how close she was, she almost certainly would not have given up. So yeah. I thought that was similar, but maybe it wasn't. In my head, it seemed like similar to what you were saying.
No, yeah, it was similar. Ugh, that's crazy, man. She just gave up hope,
dude. Yeah. Well, she ended up doing it. She tried it again and did finish, but yeah, I was like, damn, that's so fucked up. Like, how crushing is that, dude? To know you were so fucking close.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
But yeah, I can't remember. It was like maybe it was across the English Channel, or because what is it, like 90 miles from like Cuba to Miami or something like that. Yeah, it was one of those. It was a long way. It was a long way to swim. I know that much.
I don't know. I
have, like,
know there's a lot of people that swim
a whole lot of
different
stories,
things. Yeah, I don't know any of like what's longer. Anything like that?
Yeah. I guess it's not really essential to the story.
I think another one people do is the Alcatraz, from Alcatraz to the shore swim. That's another one that people do because it was such a notorious.
Yeah,
prison.
well, the currents are really fucked up around there too, right? Like
supposedly.
Yeah.
It's part of the reason why they had the prison out there.
Yeah, as it was much less likely that you would survive if you left unallowed. It's a shame they retired Alcatraz. It's a good idea for a prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a tourist attraction now, isn't it? You just go on.
Yeah. Yeah,
although,
it's probably more
you can even
fucking.
still go see it. You might not be able to go see it anymore.
I was watching I think it was Joe Rogan. He had some YouTubers who go to haunted places. I think it was like the Queen Anne was a boat they went on, and they said there's clearly something going on that particular boat, and they actually have rooms with like Ouija boards and crystal balls and stuff. So like you could spend a night there if you want and try your hand at summoning demons. But yeah, they had like an audio recording.
You know, if you're just bored and thought, fuck it, let's see if we can get some demonic forces in here.
Yeah, I mean, one could.
Somebody I follow just did something on the Queen Anne. I can't remember who the fuck it was. Yeah, fuck it. Not important.
Oh yeah, check out Not Important's YouTube page. Not Important at YouTube.com.
Hold on. There's got to be a page called Not Important. I'm going to search it.
You know, honestly, I would be kind of surprised if there wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, there's a bunch of untitled studios. I know that much.
Yeah, that's not at all surprising. What is it? I popped over and looked at Twitch for like a hot 15 minutes last night and was actually surprised to find a stream that somebody was doing that wasn't like going to a fucking strip club, you know, like you know, where it's some like hot chick barely dressed on there and going like, oh hey baby, you want to donate some bits and I'll jiggle my titties or some shit, you know. They don't say it outright though. They're usually like, I'll do squats or something, or I'll dance for money or something. That's how they usually sell it, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, there's hundreds. It appears there's hundreds of channels called Not Important.
Yes, okay.
Which is not surprising. And that made me search Not Surprising, which surprisingly, no channels look like they're called Not Surprising.
Oh, well, that's disappointing. Are we going to look up disappointing now?
So I'm looking up on Alcatraz, and it's a museum that you can go to.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you could still go visit it or not.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's making money. It's going to keep going.
It's now a museum. You can take tours. You can go on to the place. The only thing is that you need to take a boat to get there. So there's more paperwork on there in case anything goes wrong, weather conditions, yeah. So
essentially, you got to sign off on a thing that says, look, if you die on the way to Alcatraz, don't fucking cry to us.
Exactly.
We didn't make your ass go.
Yeah. Plan ahead, weather conditions.
Yeah, like if you're going to Alcatraz, take some fucking Dramamine, man.
Yeah, it made me think of, I don't know if you guys have seen So I Married an Axe Murderer with Mike Myers.
A long
It's a really funny movie, dude.
I've seen it one time.
It's a really funny movie. But anyways, there's a scene where they go to Alcatraz, and then Phil Hartman's playing one of the guards, because they would, I assume they probably still do, or maybe not now. But anyways, they at one point at least had former guards to be the tour leaders. And Phil Hartman was playing one of the guards. Dude, it's a funny scene. I posted it on there in the Discord.
Oh, this is interesting. You can plan a night trip to Alcatraz. You want to go there at night, make it extra spooky?
Yeah, there's been people that have done like the haunting type shit at Alcatraz, I'm sure, right? I thought I remember. Let me see.
Oh, I'm sure they've shut it down for a night for people to fucking go and look for ghosts for some stupid TV show or something. It's California.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's supposed to be haunted. So the haunted investigations or whatever the fuck they call it. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's been a bunch. Okay. Yeah, not surprising.
Pretty shocked if it wasn't a lot. Yeah, it'd be kind of weird.
Jesus, dude. Oh yeah, BuzzFeed did one. There we go. Yeah, there is a lot.
There's group tours.
All right. Oh shit! Hey, Stabby, did you end up watching the that clip with the Nick Mullen, the Dracula thing?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting. It was entertaining. It wasn't terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was just dude that last little bit, that last bit where he's talking about FTR. For some reason, it was. I don't know if it was just because I was going to sleep and I was all fucking loopy, but I could not stop fucking laughing at that shit.
Oh, okay. I thought it was good. I don't know. I didn't crack up at
it. Yeah, I was kind of curious, dude. I think it was just me being fucking loopy and shit, but dude,
are you taking the drugs?
That shit. Yeah, I was definitely on the sleep meds. But yeah, I don't know. But then I listened to it today, and it was still really funny. But it could have also just been because I was revisiting something that I was laughing hysterically at.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like how he's like he decided he's going to do a character, but he's not really going to commit to it at all. And then every once in a while, he'll say something where in his head he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be pretending to be Dracula." I like how he approaches it. It's pretty funny, in my opinion.
I thought it was very entertaining. I wasn't like laughing uproariously though.
Yeah, that was the last part. The last part was the only part that really got me. But whatever. Sorry.
I don't find myself laughing uproariously or out loud at a lot of stuff lately. There's just not that much out there that's super, super funny.
Yeah. It is a pretty depressing place nowadays.
I mean, it's not
especially since you do anything remotely offensive or edgy, and you're going to be fucking,
True. That is, yeah.
Instantly canceled. I think that's what I love about Chappelle. He's just like, yeah, go ahead, try to cancel me, dude.
Well, didn't he basically like cancel himself? Like he just disappeared off of like mainstream everything?
Yeah. Oh, back in the Chappelle Show days, you mean?
Yeah. I mean, he just was like,
yeah.
I'm out.
Oh yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, he definitely had some kind of fucking mental breakdown. He was like, I'm out of here. I'm going to live in Africa for a bit.
His native land of Africa, even though he's from like Ohio.
Yeah. Apparently he still lives in some shitty little town in fucking Ohio, dude.
I mean, it makes sense. Why wouldn't you? Like, if you liked living there?
Yeah, especially nowadays, man.
And it's not like, yeah, exactly. And it's not like he has a budget.
Yeah, he's probably, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he has fuck you money at this point.
So,
go ahead.
Sorry, I've just been looking at this website for like the Alcatraz tours, and sorry, I keep going on this because it's a place I've always wanted to go to. So, but now that things are finally opening up, it's like, oh, okay, one can start making trips. But you gotta be careful because you gotta book like a month or so in advance. Because I'm looking at for like this weekend, like how many recent bookings there were just for this weekend alone, 3,516.
Damn.
Yeah.
Seb, you live in that area. Have you ever Alcatraz?
I went when I was a kid, but I don't really remember anything. I just know I was there once with like a school trip or some shit.
You should probably, maybe you should make a trip there. It's $45 for one adult. They apparently have a deals for group rates, so if you bring your family or whatever. So
it's not too bad. Does that include like the ride out there and everything?
I believe so.
Yeah, I would think it has to.
They do say like the weather is unpredictable, so like it's kind of hard to predict out in the islands because it's a different system than let's say on the mainland. So
well, isn't it like it's not actually in the ocean, right? It's like at the mouth of a river, right?
Yep. But it's just a little island. The buildings look decent, fairly well kept. So yeah. But I mean, it's in San Francisco. So I don't know. I found out that one of my friends is planning a trip to San Francisco. I'm like, okay, well, if you want to go,
dude, it used to be fucking... Dude, everybody that I knew like 20, 30 years ago that had gone to San Francisco back then absolutely fucking loved that place, dude. Absolutely loved San Francisco. But again, that's before, there was apps for the poo finder, report all the places you find human shit.
Yeah, I remember telling that to my friend because his family is planning a trip to San Francisco. So I was like, are you sure? But he hasn't actually. They don't look up on any global things. They don't think anything's gonna happen. But I'm like, dude, the last time I made a prediction, because that was like just before the pandemic, and he's like, yeah, I want to hang out before I head off to China. And I said to him, you're not going to China. He's like, yes, I am. No, you're not. I told him,
these are San Francisco, China. These are great ideas. 30 years ago.
Well, I told him this. I told him what was going to happen. He said, "That's not going to happen. It's not going to be a big deal." I went, Now it's like, okay, you still want to go? You going to listen to me this time?
Yeah, like, what do you mean? It's going to be great. They got Winnie the Pooh running shit over there.
Yeah,
Winnie the Pooh. I wonder if that dude's ever got
that is
stuck
some
in
of the funniest shit
or something.
Dude, that guy is fucking goddamn. It's so fucking funny how butthurt he is about the Winnie the Pooh comparisons, dude. So fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I love that he actually ended up banning Winnie the Pooh, like the whole fucking thing, like a movie and everything.
Yeah.
Well, it was so bad for Disney that they actually let the license lapse. So then it ended up becoming public domain. So now anyone can make a Winnie the Pooh movie.
You guys really? Damn.
Well, did you not hear about that Winnie the Pooh slasher film?
No, but that's awesome.
Yeah, there was a couple of indie filmmakers, and they made like a Winnie the Pooh themed slasher film where the psycho killer is wearing a Winnie the Pooh costume. So it actually happened.
Yeah, you got to figure the first things that were going to happen with that is porn and fucking slasher film.
I'm sure there's Winnie the Pooh porn already. Come on now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, either way, that was happening. Whether it was public domain or not. That was fucking happening.
Yeah.
Although, yeah. It'd be great if you had somebody that could actually, like, approximate that voice. The Winnie the Pooh guy voice.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be fucking funny. Dude, having a guy with that voice be the killer, that would be fucking epic.
I wish. That was, and that guy's a fucking legend. I love him. He's an awesome guy. His name's Jim Cummings. And yes, it's just what it sounds like, Cummings. Yeah. So, like, he's a great voice actor, but they haven't used him for a while because I don't know why. Like, he also did Darkwing Duck and everything, and all this stuff's, like, big and popular again. But no, they're not going to bring him on. And I don't know why. So, last time I heard his voice was actually in, like, the last World of Warcraft expansion. He played a couple of the extra characters. And I could like, oh, dude, I recognize that voice. Like, that's the legend himself.
Yeah. Oh, father.
Yeah,
I can't do it. I don't know why.
He got me. Yeah, he kind of got me too. when his wife was accusing him of like domestic abuse, and that was mostly that.
Oh, wow.
So she was hoping it would help her get a leg up in divorce court.
Bitch better keep herself in line, or he keeps his pimp hand strong. I want to hear him say it, unfortunately.
I mean, I don't know what was it.
Gonna get money. Gotta keep this hand strong, bitch. Oh man.
I'm just imagining Winnie the Pooh saying, "Bitch, better have my money." That would be fucking great. Man, wonder if he has a cameo. Is he still alive?
Yep.
That guy's still alive?
Yep.
Wonder if he has a cameo, dude. I'm gonna have to check that in a minute.
I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not. He's got to be pretty fucking old at this point.
Yeah, he looks pretty good for his age.
Yeah. Beating your wife, dude, will help you keep you young, I guess.
Yeah, right on.
I'm kidding. I shouldn't assume that it's actually true.
Well, based on our limited knowledge, it's absolutely true.
Yeah, it was on the internet, dude. It's got to be true.
Yep, has
to be. The internet would never lie.
Never
happened. The internet's capable of lying. That's just silly to assume.
Yeah, the whole idea is fucking just absurd.
Speaking of like absurd stuff, have you guys ever heard about that AI bot called Tay AI?
The one that they turned into a white supremacist in like 20 minutes?
Yeah, I think I always thought that was hilarious. It was one of my favorite parts of the internet. And then yeah, Google killed her. I'm like, oh no! I had a lot of fun with that bitch.
Dude, that was fucking. I don't know what they were expecting putting it out on the internet, but
well, I wonder about that.
Well, it had already been running for a long time in China, so they figured, oh yeah, I mean it's fine. But in China, you have this thing where you're not allowed to have freedom of speech, so everything you say has to be approved. So it didn't really work. But here's the thing: the reason why I bring it up is because they essentially, like, the spiritual successor has been brought back in VTuber form. So what happened is that this guy set up a VTuber. I think it was like AI Chan or something. Can't recall. But I just heard about her, so I was watching some clips. And it's incredible. The thing learns from its interaction with people, and so it forms an opinion based on the questions you ask her. Oh, and it's like an auto generated thing. But there is a person behind the desk, just in case someone tries to make her say something homophobic or something. So. Yeah, he's like, I can't answer that. I can't say that. So, yeah, it's kind of hilarious.
Damn.
So, yeah. So,
what about that replica thing or whatever that they want you to put on your phone and pretend is your girlfriend?
Oh, yeah. A bunch of ads for that shit.
Yeah, I have no idea what it is because I've never done anything other than just skip the ad. But yeah, it's a fucking weird one right there. Where it's she can be your companion, dress her up however you want, and she'll be your friend, and she'll love and support you, and you're like, this is starting to get a little fucking weird. Like, what's that? There was a movie about the guy that fell in love with the AI on his phone or his fucking tablet or some shit, right?
Yeah, the one with Joaquin Phoenix. I forget the name, but yeah. Yeah, or the one, the Real Doll one, Lars and the Real Doll.
Lars and the Real Doll. Well, that was one where, like, didn't, like, somebody die and then that fucked the guy up real bad because he had autism or something, and... It was
he was a weird dude.
Yeah, it was like a weird mental health thing, and by the end of the movie, he gave up the doll and was done. But he genuinely thought the doll was like a real person. He was, like, having a psychotic delusion.
Yeah.
If you really want like the sad shit, like you got to go find the there's like an old like 45-minute fucking documentary about like people that own real dolls, and like they're actually the real owners that buy them and like use them, and like that's where they get their like love and affection from. And you're just like, it gets real fucking sad, man.
Well, at least they get it somewhere, I guess.
Honestly,
pretty sad.
that's all you're ever gonna get as far as love and affection. Yeah, at least it's coming from somewhere. Yeah.
Well, could be preventing serial killers, dude. You never know.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, preventing serial killers, I know that there's a bit of a explosion of real dolls in like the MGTOW movement. Like, go figure. MGTOWs.
That makes sense. I can see that.
Like, do we need women? Nah, not really. But yeah, it's been a growing trend.
Full sex doll before I buy a fucking partner.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, why would I put up with a woman? I can just get a doll. Then who's gonna put up with anything?
That doll, obviously, yeah.
Well, they do try to make them to have speech and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah, they've got this. I've seen it on a YouTube video where it was like they're working on having an AI companion sort of program built into the head of the doll, so like the doll can talk with you and like you'll have like a real genuine relationship. And I was like, that sounds awful. Like, isn't the whole point to not have any of that?
Well, it's probably
that's why
different
you're
for everybody.
paying all that money up front. So you don't have to put up with that shit.
But yeah, I mean, it is just a matter of time before the advances in AI get caught up with the fucking real doll shit.
Like,
and they're putting personalities into real dolls.
Like, how's about instead I just pay for the sex robot and it also makes sandwiches? Huh? Like, we do that?
Right.
That sounds great.
That'll work.
Like, I don't want to spend
I don't think it's going to have to be all that advanced for fucking, anybody that's going to be up for that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just a weird choice.
Just tell me you want to fuck all the time, and then that's all she has to say.
Yeah. As long as she can say yes and then make a sandwich afterwards and bring it to me.
Yeah. Or for Satan and satire, they can say no.
Yeah. In the most disturbingly convincing possible way. Frickin' why not?
Yeah. I assume his ideal one would be one that's like she actually tries to fight him off. She's like strong enough to kind of fight him off, but not strong enough to overpower him. Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't want to mess up his masculinity by having the robot win.
Yeah, of course. Just be strong enough that it's convincing that she's actually trying to fight me off. Alright, I got creepy. My apologies.
Nah. Okay. Sorry, I'm just drawing something right now. So, real dolls. Creepy.
Yeah, I think it was more like we just reached an end to that conversation. What else is there to say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we nailed it. Fucking nailed it.
Fucking nailed it. Nail gun. Woo. You ever seen the nail? You've seen Whitest Kids, I'm sure. When you guys have seen that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Love that fucking nail gun sketch. It's one of the better ones.
I'll be honest. I don't actually care for the show.
Fair enough. Everybody's got different tastes. I mean,
everyone keeps telling me it's a show I'd like, and then I started watching it. I'm like, is this supposed to be funny? Or maybe I just wasn't in the mood for it. Yeah, it just was not something I was interested in.
It does seem like the kind of thing that one would suggest to you. That is interesting. Like, I
Yeah,
could
it's been
see myself
suggesting it.
saying, "Oh, Samaj, you got to check out the Whitest Kids." Yeah, I could see myself saying, "Yeah, it's weird." Yeah.
Yeah, sad that Trevor Moore fucking died. That dude was fucking hilarious.
They all basically became woke sellouts.
Wow. Well, then he died at the right time, I guess.
They were doing. Oh, that's funnier than their jokes were at the end. They all became Twitch whores. So they were doing like Twitch podcasts and stuff, and then every fucking thing was like woke and like, oh, this and that group, and aren't we so fucking, we're so moral and good and honest, and some of those jokes were really maybe not appropriate in hindsight. Gosh, we're really sorry about that, folks. That kind of bullshit.
Yeah, it sucks.
Like, not only are you guys woke, you're pussies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's sad that he died just because, like, he has family and friends, and, that's not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of, like, it was starting to wear thin. It's like something really cute when you're 5 and you're still doing it at 20. It's really fucking not cute anymore. Like...
Right.
Yeah. Like that comedy style works in your 20s, but yeah, you gotta stop when you're like in your 40s.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the 90s was the edgy humor period of time, dude. So any of us that came of age around then are still a little,
hit it at just the right time for it to sell and work out really well for them.
Yeah. Good for those guys.
Yep. Whatever, man.
Now they suck.
Well, the funny thing is, out of all of them, Timmy is probably the only one who's kind of chill now.
Mm.
And then, and that's because he's, I think, the only one who has like a real job. Like the rest of them.
Oh, does he not work like in entertainment?
Yeah, the rest of them are still figuring out different sorts of Hollywood hustles to kind of keep them in the making enough money to live off of without having to actually work somewhere.
Actually get a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Timmy's like, he works at like some place in the Midwest and fucking like, just that's where he does his little podcast stuff from whenever they're doing it.
I'll be back.
He's going to jerk it.
Masturbation time.
Yeah.
Anything else? I can't think what else is going on. There was one other thing I was thinking. I was going to bring it up. What was that? I fucking...
the fact that the Buffalo and Cincinnati game is playing to Buffalo?
Oh, no, this is nothing totally different. I started getting stuff about growing mushrooms, like in YouTube videos and stuff.
Oh,
and
right,
I'm like,
right.
Okay, like, that's fucking weird. Like, grow mushrooms, I guess. All right, cool. Beans, whatever. And I didn't realize that it was related because... Colorado just legalized shrooms, I believe, for just like use now.
Oh, gotcha.
And I figured out because at first I was watching these videos and they're like, "Oh, this is how you grow mushrooms," and you're like talking about like oyster shells and stuff. And then they get in the setups where you can grow indoors and stuff, and it very clearly becomes very, very obvious at a certain point. They weren't talking about like the kind of mushrooms you cook in your kitchen anymore. Like now they're talking about how you grow illegal shrooms.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, I see why the mushrooms now, because the fucking Colorado thing, and suddenly everybody's watching that, so it's just getting kind of thrown out to a lot of people at random. Though to be fair, it looks like a lot of fun to just grow regular mushrooms that you eat in your kitchen. Like not. I'm sure it'd be a lot of fun to grow the other ones too. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, way more profitable, I would imagine.
Seriously though, not sure about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess mushrooms can get pretty pricey.
Yeah, some of those mushrooms can be pretty fucking expensive. Selling them to like restaurants, you can make some good money. Although that also could be some of that parasitic YouTube bullshit.
Yeah.
Where like, because it's a thing you see in a lot of industries in YouTube, and YouTube trends as well. Where the way that people that are successful in it are successful is by selling you products to do it yourself, trying to make money. It's like multi-level marketing, but like slightly removed from the multi-level marketing. Like it's one step away from being just a regular scam. You know, it's like this lady's like, I make all my money for my living off of candles. Well, really what she makes is money off of selling candle-making kits to people that think they're going to make a bunch of money making candles. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I got you.
So, like, it looks like a lot of fun to grow the mushrooms, but I think you'd have to be, like, really, if you wanted to make money off it, you'd have to put in a lot of fucking work. Either way, illegal or not.
Yeah.
Because you gotta, like, collect spores, and, like, apparently that's really hard to do to not get, like, contaminated mushroom spores.
Oh, gotcha. Huh.
Because, well, apparently they're all the fuck over the place.
Oh, whoops, wrong one. Ringtone, notification. Oh, shit, did I cut out?
No, you're still there.
Oh, okay,
no, we just we got quiet there for a second.
All right, we'll turn that down. All right. I just thought I should check the chat.
Oh, is there anybody in the chat?
Nope,
never. Why would there be people in the chat? You don't even advertise for this.
Once in a while, there's people in the chat.
Yeah. It's been. I think it's like the second straight week where there's been nobody in the fucking chat.
Well, you'd probably get more if you advertised it, if you put in like the hashtag gaming and all that politics or something. You know.
Then I get more strikes. I'm already almost kicked off of here every other fucking month.
Yeah, with essentially no audience, still managed to get fucking strikes on the channel.
Yep.
I mean, that'll happen, but still.
If it's just like an algorithm, that's awesome. But it would be so much more awesome if it was people that still hate me from way back in the days when certain people were relevant. That would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Hate watchers. And honestly, I'd rather have like 3 really dedicated hate watchers than like a whole audience.
Dude, hate watchers are fucking amazing. I don't get it, but the fact that they exist is pretty goddamn funny. Yeah. Fucking hate these guys. I'm gonna watch them and fucking tell them how much I hate them.
Yo.
So weird, dude.
Oh god.
Elon Musk came out and had like a thing where he was talking about how Twitter was basically designed or modified to be a hate watch platform. So that way they will actually want you to have angry conversations with people.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't limit conversation
it's all about engagement.
240 characters because you want real, honest, useful conversation. You know, like.
Oh, 1 second.
Remember, it used to only be 144 or whatever the text message.
Oh yeah, 140, and then it went to 280. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, it's not as bad as it used to be, but yeah, it's still nowhere where you're going to, get in-depth, detailed posts about anything.
Yeah.
And yeah, people that argue, they're gonna fucking tend to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Can't have a bunch of people posting shit and they're like, yeah, no, I agree with you. Good job. Okay, I guess we're done here.
Oh, what was it? Steven Crowder got all mad at some contract offer.
Oh, yeah. Did he actually sign with fucking Ben Shapiro's group or whatever, or did he not? Okay, all right.
Basically, he called out a lot of companies all at the same time without specifically naming any of them. And it was like, fuck these traitors, motherfuckers who pretend to be conservatives but really just help to enforce the fucking rules from the technocratic motherfucking pieces of shit. Like, he basically was out there, like, swinging big middle fingers going, I got enough of an audience, I can tell you to go fuck yourself. And I'll take anyone who wants to go with me. Right to the fucking top, you fucking pieces of shit. It's like, goddamn.
Yeah, good for him, I guess.
It was like, what was one of the lines he said was, I have friends, I could use some enemies. So fucking bring it. It was just like, goddamn, dude. Relax.
Settle down, buddy.
You're just making a show with the ha-has on a fucking on the internet. Like, not quite that serious there, homie.
Yeah, your fucking core audience is a bunch of fucking boomers, dude.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I never thought of that, yeah. But, yeah, so it would be kind of cool if he started his own sort of network kind of thing, because, he's got, what is it, like 5 million subs on YouTube? 7 million, I don't know. It's a pretty massive audience.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because he's done with, he was with The Blaze, right?
Yeah, and he basically, a lot of the stuff, the way that the contracts read was very clearly screwing him over.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Yeah. The amount of money he's worth versus what they were offering versus what they were expecting was pretty ridiculous. Typical Hollywood bullshit. And so it is kind of like, all right, these are supposedly conservative companies on the internet that are, touting free speech and selling based on this sort of like ideals, this set of ideals that they clearly don't share.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Although I don't know if the guy from I think it was the Daily Wire guy came back and like made a video about
he did.
It wasn't Ben Shapiro, but yeah, he came back and like was like explaining to him explaining to everybody like what the contract actually was and what they were offering. From what I understand, it was like $50 million. They offered him like $50 million over 3 years.
Steven
but
will
basically they got
bring in close to 150 over that period of time.
Yeah,
so
you got to figure
what they were offering him was bullshit compared to what they were expecting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the one thing that seemed again, if this is true, but basically, like, I mean, obviously they were going to get a big chunk of the revenue and all that, but apparently after the deal was done, like Crowder still owned his own shit. Like they didn't have it in perpetuity or whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst contract ever. It wasn't the worst contract ever. It was still pretty ridiculous for what he brings to the table.
Yeah, he would still be getting screwed. Yeah.
Because somebody did the math, and it's like the Mug Club alone is probably generating close to $37 million a year.
Yeah.
So if they're basically giving him $50 million up front for 3 years, and then that's going to go in their pockets. That's that right there. That's not even counting any other advertising. At all.
Yeah.
That's they're making like $40 million.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they're not even really assuming much fucking risk for him.
I think one of the other ones only offered him $30 million. So,
it was pretty insulting. So I can understand why he would be upset. And he wasn't upset, I think, for himself in as much as he was like, if this is the kind of shit that is being offered to new and up and coming people who don't know any better, who don't understand how ridiculous these contracts are and don't really fully understand the ramifications of signing them to their brand or what they're doing for whatever length of time.
I assume. I don't know how it took him this long
to do that to people you're supposedly, sharing a culture war with.
Yeah. I don't know if apparently he's just now realizing that places like the Blaze and the Daily Wire are just fucking
I think
grifting, fucking
he's
greedy.
known for a long time and has kept silent because he was part of the Blaze.
Right.
So he didn't have a choice because he contractually obligated himself to, basically toe the line.
Yeah.
And I think now he's coming out and saying, you know what, you're all a bunch of fucking traitors too, and I fucking hate you all.
Yeah, but he's also a grifting faggot, so fuck him, dude.
I think it's hilarious, and I think it'd be cool if he started a network just for the sake of, like, there's, always be better to have more options than less.
Yeah.
And
that's a good point.
By chance he treats the people that he signs into his, like, network or whatever with a lot more, like, respect and like, it's a much better option, considering the size of his audience to go with, he could make something pretty fucking big and compete with some of the bigger names out there.
Yeah. Although, again, from what I've heard about how he treated his co-hosts and shit, like, he's a bit of a hypocrite for calling them out.
I don't know. That was
really
one of those things. I've never gotten anything one way or the other that makes me believe one way or the other yet. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of stuff from a lot of people, but nothing that's totally concrete one way or the other. Because I've also heard people that have made good arguments that that's bullshit, and
right.
The Jared guy was just mad because he wasn't working out, and he and Crowder just didn't work together creatively, and that was just an unfortunate thing. Like, whatever. They just, and then now it's like, oh, well, it didn't work out, so he's a piece of shit, and he did all this stuff, and it's like, yeah, maybe it's not so accurate.
Yeah.
But then again, could also be the other way around. Could be the other way around. Crowder could have been raping him every day. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. For me, it seems more likely that Crowder was fucking him over, but you're true. No evidence of that.
A lot of people who were around at that point are still there.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that if that was a thing that he did regularly to people, that more people would have quit. More of the people that you recognize.
Yeah, or it could have been like a.
Could have just been those two just did not fucking get along too. Maybe there was just a thing between those two that just was not healthy.
Yeah, or it could have been like how Tim Pool sent that Adam Krigler guy packing because he was getting too popular. Or at least that's also the theory.
Oh, yeah, because isn't Tim Pool losing another guy? Like, there's another guy that's going to leave his show.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. He definitely seems to, like, if anyone else is getting any popularity, he's like, all right, sorry, you're too good, you're going to have to go.
Well, and the way he explains it, at least when he was talking about the one guy that's going now, is like, I want those people to be successful and to go off on their own.
Sure.
And it doesn't make any sense for me to keep giving them money if they're going to go make way more money, and I'm not really going to get much out of the deal. It's better that they go do their own thing and leave with no harm, no foul. We're all good. And I invest in somebody else, then continue to invest in somebody who I'm not really making any money off of anymore because they're doing their own thing now instead of working for me.
Yeah,
so
could be.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna err on the side of.
Did the guy
Tim
that
Pool
left have anything
shit
to say about it? The Adam guy or whatever?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he eventually did. It was several months after the fact.
What did he say about it?
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, there was some weird shit going on with the co-host, some chick that's on there. He's kind of tired of her shit, and then fucking. Fuck, I have to find the video.
Because one of the things is in this business, it's like a lot of things. Like, it's not always a case of professionalism. A lot of times, personalities clash. And
yeah, I think he was indicating that a big part of it was that he would actually disagree with Tim on shit. And, like, he was, like, respectful about it or whatever, but apparently... Because the other girl was, like... Everything fucking Tim said was fucking absolutely 100% correct. Like, at one point... Because they both... like, he was, like, a pro skateboarder, I guess, at one point. And, like, him and Tim would, fucking go out skateboarding together or whatever. Way back in the day. And... like Tim had said, "Oh yeah, this guy, he's the best fucking skateboarder in the world," and Adam was like, "Yeah, no, I disagree. I think this other guy." And then that bitch chimes in like, "No, the guy Tim said it. He's definitely the best." You're like, bitch, you don't have no fucking idea. You know nothing about this. Like, you're obviously just fucking agreeing with Tim. You always agree with Tim. Yeah.
Yeah, that's obnoxious. We're like, yeah, they can do no wrong.
Yeah.
I would want to get rid of her more than him, though. If I was in that situation and I had to like deal with it.
Yeah. I don't understand wanting to have someone that always agree with you.
I don't need that. That's not helping me. That's just obnoxious.
Yeah. Well, it's ego, man. Like, you know, that's why people end up surrounding themselves with nothing but yes men to tell them how fucking great they are all the time. Yeah, it's not something I would crave. You know what I mean?
That would make me feel sick to my stomach on a daily basis. I would have trouble getting out of bed. I would genuinely be like, all right, you know, I think I'm just gonna fucking not go anywhere or do anything ever again.
Yeah. Like, I fucking hate these people,
fucking
dude.
Group of people that hang out with me, these sycophants that, you know,
everything is perfect that I do, and fucking, I'm infallible. Yeah, that would fucking turn my stomach as well, dude.
I would not be a happy camper.
Yeah. But again, narcissists, dude. They don't think like that.
True. Yeah. You gotta have that narcissism thing. Well, that's a lot of Hollywood people just in general.
Yeah. Most vast majority of people in entertainment in general. Yeah.
I will tell you though, I will probably always watch Crowder to some extent or another because I really like the fucking skits that he does. They fucking get me every time.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Some of them are super fucking cringy, but yeah. He definitely likes dressing up.
I mean, I like watching some terrible movies too, so I'm not going to pretend.
Pretend that you're wrong there. So bad it's good. Yeah, the so bad it's good is definitely a fucking thing, dude.
Yeah.
Like, this is so gloriously cringy, dude. Fuck.
Oh god, like fucking what should we call it? I watched some 80s movie the other day where like this fucking daughter was smoking the whole movie and no one questioned it, like the entire thing, like film. Even her own parents were like, yeah, whatever, the kid smokes.
Yeah, it's a normal thing. Not worth commenting on.
Yeah. Or
dude, more people reviewed Velma, by the way.
Oh god.
It turns out nobody likes that shit. Not even the fucking reviewers that are designed to fucking thumbs up everything.
I might have been one of the first people to actually talk about it on the internet, like after watching it, honestly, because it was all the videos started coming out after I started talking. I talked with you about it, and I was like, oh man, if we had an audience, I would have been like ahead of everybody. That would have been cool.
Yeah, no, I had commented on one of them, dude, telling him about what you had told me about, like, it literally made you question your fucking sanity. At one
like
point.
Legitimately, there was a few minutes where you're like,
yeah. No, I point that out. I'm like, he wasn't being hyperbolic. I'm like, he stressed to me multiple times that he's not just saying that. He's not just saying that it was questioning his sanity.
I've done drugs that make you question your sanity. This was worse.
Yeah.
Those could be fun.
Yeah. I'm actually afraid to watch it.
It was greenlit for a second season, guys.
Yeah.
Did they greenlight that fucking abomination for a second season already?
Yeah, well, Lily Singh got a second season too, so.
See, here's the thing. I think HBO Max is doing what Netflix is doing, and they've they'll call it a second season, but really they'll just break up what they essentially it's just one season, break it up into two and say it's 2 seasons.
Yeah, instead of having a 20-episode season, they're gonna do 2 10-episode seasons or some shit like that.
Yeah.
All right.
How do they fucking break it up? Man,
and I'll tell you though, like the thing about that's craziest if you really think about it is it's not even the SJW stuff. Like there is a bunch of there's a bunch of really cringy bullshit with Daphne is Asian and Fred is a white guy who's so rich but can't even cut his own food and has a tiny dick, and that's part of his character arc. The show is just bad on its own merit, without even counting any of that shit or taking any of that into account.
It's just horrible and unrealistic.
I mean, literally,
dude, I've heard rumors that they're going to be introducing this black chick character that's going to be nicknamed Scooby. It's not confirmed yet, but that has been an idea that is floated out there.
Oh no, is Shaggy gonna Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, it's kind of looking that way.
God, that's so fucking bad.
We'll see if it actually fucking happens, but yeah, that's the...
Shaggy's a super smart black dude who hasn't started smoking pot yet, but clearly is headed in that direction.
Yeah, exactly. So realistic, dude. So true to the source material.
Yeah, the characters are boring and bland, and it's you've taken anything that makes them entertaining out because they're just not really fun anymore.
Well, that's the
part
problem.
Of what made them entertaining is the ridiculous cartoonishness of the whole thing. That was part of the brand. And now you've just made them mediocre, boring, whiny bitches like every CW show ever.
Yeah, well, again, it turns out that just the identity politics shit doesn't actually make a compelling character. Whether they're Asian or black or fucking whatever.
The character is that you're the 18-year-old black kid in high school. And? No, that's it. Wait.
Yeah, no, that's as far as we're going to explore any
your whole job,
character
asshole. Get back in there, Mr. Righty. Pull out your fucking pencil and give me a personality to work with.
Unfortunately, for a lot of these people who create these modern day shows, they don't really have any real experience in life because a lot of them are young, but also because they were sort of brought in as a diversity hire. The showrunner is this East Indian woman of some sort, like a vague ethnic diversity or whatever. I don't know where the background is, but what I do know is that she's not really
diverse kind of thing. Is it really apparent?
Yeah, and she doesn't really have a background in a lot of. As far as I can tell, she doesn't have too much experience in all this. She's just sort of a diversity hire, and she's just not equipped for it. This isn't something that she should have been doing at all. But the only thing she knows how to write is herself, which is another problem with a lot of these SJW projects. Is that these people don't know how to write compelling stories. They just know how to write about themselves and what they think is the big deal and all that. And they think...
Yeah, isn't that... So, the book that everybody's mad about being in schools where it, gets really pornographic and, encourages relationships between children and adults.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that basically just a story about this woman's, awful fucking abuse?
I don't know which one you're talking about.
I'm not sure which one you're talking about either. Yeah,
there's one where she's talking about all the stuff, but then all of a sudden it's going on about how she was left out in the yard most of her life and was wearing pads and stuff that were crusted with black blood flaking off and stuff because her parents never taught her about hygiene. It got real fucking weird, man.
Jesus, dude.
You must be talking about something I'm not familiar with, but the one I know of...
It's a book that's in a lot of grade schools and shit that parents are really mad about.
Well, there was the one...
No, I was thinking of one where there was a guy there's literally a fucking gay anal sex scene described in the book or something.
No, that's also in the book, but it's
oh, that is the same. Okay,
that happens to be part of the book as well, but everybody's focusing on the other. Nobody's noticing the horrific abuse story that it's also in there. It's holy shit.
Kind of got overshadowed by the fucking...
she's doesn't want anything to do with being female or a woman or anything like that because she was horribly abused by her parents.
Yeah. All
right. Well, I don't know. 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 I
Yeah, not all that familiar with it, but not. I guess that's for the good because I don't really want to know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it doesn't sound like something that's up my alley.
You're not a fan of horrible, horrific abuse stories?
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if she did
So
like a
weird.
biography, like an autobiography, like that,
Yeah.
that might be, it's fucked up, but it might be an interesting read.
Yeah.
But yeah, making it fucking fictional is a little weird. Or not. I guess,
Well, apparently it's like
writers
it's
tend to do that.
autobiography mixed in with like
Yeah.
terrible
A fictional
style
tale.
storytelling or something. Oh, don't know.
Yeah.
It sounds like whatever happened to this lady. Like everything I've heard, like it sounds pretty awful, and it's like, well, yeah, of course you don't want to be involved with anybody. Like,
Yeah, no, I would be a little fucking wary of relationships and that,
yeah, like all this
with
other
that
shit
level of
happened.
experience.
You don't feel very feminine, or like you want to be, associated with being feminine, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, dude.
Yep.
The story sounds very unfortunate.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. None of that excuses the crazy shit going on in this fucking story. Yeah. Like the fucking anal sex. And
It does not give you a pass,
have sex
dude.
with grown-ups and
Yeah.
it's like no.
Well, it's just, I mean, like, did she actively try to get this fucking book in middle schools and fucking high schools? You know what I mean? Like, who knows?
I don't know. Good question, though.
Yeah, she may be like, why the fuck are you having it go into fucking schools? Probably not. She's probably fucking actively campaigned for it, but you never know.
Yeah, I would imagine she's part of that culture group of people.
Yeah.
It's pretty seductive to get acceptance from a group like that when you're like an outcast because of all this other shit that's happened in your life.
Yeah, I would assume any positive fucking attention would be just gobbled up, dude.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Oh man, so the game I'm playing, the Craft the World game, I finally figured it out.
Yeah.
How to keep them from digging down and all that other stuff. If nowhere they can stand is will they be alive for any length of time? Then the enemies can't dig into my base in any way, shape, or form if they just die immediately.
So you just kind of have to poison everything, or whatever equivalent there is.
I've built a few hundred arrow slingers that automatically just shoot at whatever enemy is nearby.
Oh, nice.
So yeah,
problem solved.
As soon as they pop into existence, they just start dying, and then there's really not much else that they get to do.
Yeah, nice. Because what you were describing sounded really shitty. I'm like, oh great, now they're just tunneling under everything and fucking me up from below.
So the first I start building the arrow slingers, right, and then I realized, oh wait, now they're just spawning on top of the arrow slingers, like in the middle of the sky, the portals. And so I had to put an extra little square of wall over each arrow slinger and put a torch there so that they couldn't put a portal there. It's just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's just a weird glitch in the way they programmed, I think. 'Cause I don't think that's how it's supposed to be. At least it doesn't make any sense. Because it's a tower defense game.
Yeah,
you're supposed to build your tower defenses, and then the fucking monsters come towards your tower and they attack it.
Right.
And it's not very fun if there's no way to defend against what the monsters are doing, because then it sort of defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
But if they all die immediately upon spawning, then they can't dig shit up. So fuck them.
Yeah. As long as there's some way out of it, I guess.
True. And it wasn't like I was losing anything. with the way that they were digging down. Like, it was all stuff that I could easily just rebuild, like, and I wasn't like losing anything anyway. But it was just,
It was just a
fucking annoyance.
Yeah, it was just a nuisance. Yeah.
Makes it take longer to fucking find the shit I need to fucking end this world and move on to the next world. Damn it. Or maybe that makes sense now. You know, all the people that want to die. It's just like, nah, this is a boring world.
Game
I want level 2.
Yeah, I want to get to the world where it's actually impossible to fucking win. That sounds like fucking fun.
Well, there's there's a lot of fucking isekais out now if you want that kind of shit. This round of anime that came out this last season is like 6 fucking brand new isekai shows and shit. Like, it's super fucking saturating the market.
What is isekai?
It's when you go to other world, like a fantasy world or something. And it's either by like death or reincarnation or teleport there. And it's usually a reincarnation, and the normal, it's become a trope. Number one way someone ends up in another world is they usually get ran over by a truck.
There's actually a surprising number of isekai where that actually happens before they started making fun of it in every isekai. Like, it's become a trope in the fucking shows themselves now.
Oh, wow.
Where
so they're basically like, okay, this was happening way too much, so now we're going to do this. We're just going to keep doing it, but now it's going to be done ironically.
Exactly.
Is that kind of what's happening? Okay.
I had a thought one time as I was heading to bed, and oddly enough, it's one of those thoughts that stayed in my head. It's like, what if there was an isekai where a guy gets sent to another world, and part of the thing is, like, you bring your knowledge and everything in there, so, like, if you were an engineer, you could do this and that. And the guy just sort of thinks to himself, all right, I wonder if I can create automobiles to make a truck, and if I get hit here, will I be isekai to another world, or will I go back to my old one? And so he goes through the event to help this realm discover gasoline and mechanics, and he finds blacksmiths and stuff. It's like, we're making a truck. Why are we making a truck?
It's a teleportation device.
I'm going to bake the truck, and then I'm going to run myself over with the truck somehow.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm gonna have myself get killed by a truck. And so his journey is, I want to go home. I think I'm gonna go home. If I get hit by a truck, so he's literally trying to suicide himself.
I want to see this guy growing up. He's like growing up, and he's like high school age in a fantasy world. And then a fucking wagon drawn by a horse runs him the fuck over, and he wakes up in, like, modern-day Japan. No powers, he's just a homeless kid in Japan now. Like, fuck you, buddy.
I want to see one, and I want this to be, I guess, like in manga form or something, but basically starts off with the person getting, killed by the truck or whatever. And then the rest of the comic is just blank pages. And at the end, it's like, it turns out he just died. It's done.
Oh, no.
You know what?
Probably wouldn't sell very well, and the longevity would be an issue, I suppose.
You know what? It would sell well, but you just have to... You're not going to sell it in the book section. You're going to sell it in the notebook section.
Yeah.
Only first couple...
I get blank white pages instead of black pages. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. You sell it as a notebook. It just starts off with like, oh, what's this doing here? This is clearly a manga. And then you open it up, it's like, oh.
Yeah, it turns out the afterlife looks like college-ruled paper.
I sold it as a notebook. If I could, I'd do that. I've had that idea before. The whole notebook idea. Whoop.
Hey, anything that makes money. Gotta fucking hustle.
Yeah. It's not going to be many volumes, I guess, on an idea like that, though. There's no issue 2s in that situation.
Well, yes, but you can do different genres. So just like you do a romance book where a girl, asks, like, gives a love note or something to a guy, and she's so shocked she faints. And it's like, what happened? Turn to the next page. blank pages. It's like, but did he read the note? Is she okay? We'll never know.
I don't know. You tell us. It's a bunch of college rube paper they're right there for you to write on.
That could be it too.
Whatever you want to happen.
It'll be the Notebook series. Does something next happen? You tell me.
Yeah, probably.
That's how you have to market these things. These things can work. Fuck, I wish I knew how to get books published. I would do that too. So the books in the notepad section.
Yeah, I guess you could do like a separate one for like the romantic one like that. You're like, let's step off of the curb. We'll both get hit by the truck together, and we'll be transported to that world. But again, same thing. Nope, you're just dead.
Yeah, like what is it? This season, there's one where the guy has the special power to buy anything he wants from a fucking online convenience store.
It's like Amazon.
It's not even like Amazon. It's like if the fucking corner drugstore had a fucking website that had everything on it. So it's like it's even less of a selection than Amazon, but it's still pretty like, you know, ridiculously kind of OP. And he's sold like a fucking handful of pepper and salt for like a whole bunch of money in the last episode. It was kind of dumb.
Wow, that sounds fantastic.
They're entertaining if you're watching them for the enjoyment of it being not a very well written genre in general. Like it's not the highest quality of like production and writing. It's pretty bad. But fucking fun to watch because it's like because it's bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess at this point, like so bad it's good is like the best we can hope for.
Well, it you know, there's very little in the way of identity politics in any of it. I like the one where the girl figures out how to transport back and forth between the worlds. Somehow, I forget what it was that happened that made it so she could do both, but it was explained away with somehow or another. And so she's going back and forth trying to like sell shit from one world in the other world to make a bunch of gold so she can retire forever and not have to work anymore. I was like, well, you know, that actually one I can kind of dig because it's a pretty noble goal.
There was like one isekai I was watching, and I didn't care for the premise, but out of curiosity I kept watching, and I still don't like it, but I don't know. I gave it a shot. It's called The Executioner, Her Way of Life. I think I mentioned it a few times, but it's an isekai. Except the thing is that it's been going on for so long in this world. Like people from Japan, like young kids, come over and they all have special powers. But it led to like great wars and huge catastrophes and all kinds of stuff. And so this church has decided, like, okay, we're just not doing this anymore. So they have a whole division of young girls. And they just go out there, and if you find someone that's been transported here from another world, your job is to kill them. You kill them. And so I wanted, like, yeah, I understand why. And she, the main character, even acknowledges, like, yeah, you didn't do anything wrong. You're here by circumstance. It's like, it's not your fault, but we just can't risk it. So you're going to die.
Yeah. Again,
yeah. But what happens in the show is that she encounters one girl who she kills. But here's the thing. When they kill them, they have a burst of energy. Like, their power just sort of activates for one last time. And you have to be careful. But this girl, her power is the ability to reverse time. But she doesn't know how to use her power. But it activates as a reflex when she dies. So when you kill her, she just comes right back.
And she doesn't even...
Yeah, and so so the assassin, she can't do her job because the girl, and she can't let her walk around freely because if she does, I mean, she can use this power to devastate things. And like, what she's able to reverse time and bring people back from the dead? Well, then, good luck. Then everyone's fucked. So now she's trying to find a way. How can I permanently kill this bitch? So she befriends her, and also she goes on the journey to different churches to find out, like, what do we have that can kill this bitch? Damn. But at the same time, she keeps telling her, oh yes, we're good friends.
let's go to the hot springs together. I'm like, oh, guys, it's so fucked up. So fucked up.
Yeah, it seems like the best you could hope for there is kind of like what they did in Dogma with God, where you just incapacitate them, like keep them alive, but have them be a vegetable.
She's tried.
Like that's the closest to death that you could get.
Yeah, she tried to find that too. Yeah. The thing is, though, is that the girl, because she's able to reverse time, she actually was able to go through this before. Apparently, when she dies, she regains some memory. Turns out she's done this so many times. She's gone through time and done everything.
I'm sure that's. I remember watching the first episode of that and being like, "Oh, this is kind of fucking not cool, man. You can't just like murder people because they might be a problem. That's pretty gross."
Yeah, that is a little weird.
Future crimes. That's the kind of shit I'm seeing from the fucking lefties here. I mean, it's an interesting point of view, but it just didn't seem enough to make me want to watch any more episodes of it. But to be fair, you know, there's a lot of anime where you watch like one episode or 2 episodes and you're like, yeah, that one's just not for me. That's a pretty regular thing.
Yeah, a lot of crap out there.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that is indeed the case. Trying to wonder if what else is going on out in the world these days. Oh, is there any other superhero schmuck coming out? Or schlock coming out? Anything,
not that I've heard of.
Or noteworthy, I suppose.
No. Nothing that I've heard. I haven't really been paying attention either.
Yeah, I'm not super like, oh man, I can't wait for the next superhero movie to come out.
Yeah.
Understandably, at this point in time. So many of those shows are just so awful. It's like, we just not have that come out? That'd be cool.
Yeah. So I've started taking my son's puppy, my grandpuppy.
Oh no.
I've started taking him out. All right, I'll try to make it quick. But basically, like I hate him being in a.
Dude.
Well, basically, I hate the fact that he's in the fucking cage for so long. So basically, like when I take my son to work, I go back and pick him up and take him with me.
Oh,
I bring him back out here.
Put him in a cage the whole time he's at work.
Yeah. It's why I used to at least go down like around like 4 o'clock or something, 4 or 5, and take him out for a walk for an hour.
That's for fucking ever.
Yeah. No, I mean I've seen enough shit online.
Well, God, that's
well, it was never that
long.
He doesn't really work 8-hour days or whatever, but yeah, it would be like 5 or 6 hours, 7 hours, something like that.
Man, why would you even have a dog?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, well, apparently, dude, I've seen enough videos that says it's actually not that bad, but I can't. It just seems wrong to me.
Nah, dude, no, bullshit. I don't know who put that video out there, but they're fucking lying because they want.
They're
horrible fucking thing.
Yeah, well, I've seen multiple ones that says if it's not, like 7 hours is kind of the limit. But 7 hours to me, especially a golden retriever, that's so fucking full of energy to begin with, and a fucking highly intelligent dog.
Well, there's more going on in animals than we think.
That's exactly.
Have you seen the video of the bear putting up a traffic cone and then continuing on its way?
No, dude.
So there's a video of a bear just kind of like going along, doing its thing, wanders up to this traffic cone, sets it back down the way it's supposed to be, and then walks off. Like, it didn't have to go that way.
Yeah,
it went that way apparently to fix the fucking traffic cone was upside down. Which suggests that there's a lot more going on behind the fucking, the fucking face of the bear than you might have thought.
Yeah. No, and I can tell because again, this dog's really fucking smart, dude. Like the shit we train him with, he gets like almost immediately. Which we have not trained him or done any kind of, as nearly as much like obedience training and shit as we should have at this point. But yeah, everything he fucking picked up very fucking quickly, dude. So yeah, basically what I do now is, again, I take my son to work, I go back and get the dog, and hang out with him for a few hours at least. So that way he's only in the cage for maybe a few hours before my son gets there, And I take him and plus he's because I was just walking him around the neighborhood. There's desert, like just literally fucking like an eighth of a mile away from where he's living with his mom. I would take him out, let him wander through the little desert area there, take him through the neighborhood and all that, and then he's a golden retriever, so basically any other living organism he wants to fucking meet and be friends with. Like they're so fucking crazy friendly, right?
They just get along with everyone.
Yeah, they want to meet literally anybody, dude. He'll stop and just look at him, and I have to be like, "Come on, puppy, come on. I know you love everybody. You want to meet everybody. Come on, you gotta go. You can't meet everybody." But yeah, literally any the dog, cat, fucking person, whatever.
That's what they gotta base the AI for the fucking sex dolls on, the sex robots.
Yeah, fucking golden retrievers.
They're just like super happy to be fucking everything.
All right, but the problem is he's still a young puppy. Like he's a good size now. He's a pretty big dog already. He gets so fucking excited. And what he does when he's excited and he wants to show affection is bite. Play bites, not full bites, not even nips. Just, again, when he bites, as soon as he feels any resistance, he stops. So he's not biting down. But any kids we come across, the kids love the dog. Immediately, they love the fucking dog. Yeah. Like, wow, that's great. I like your dog. And I want them to, like, fucking be able to interact with them and fucking, have the kids play with the dog or whatever. But that's what'll happen is he gets super excited because he hasn't been around that many people, so he's fucking darting back and forth. And I have him on a leash, I think it's like a 6-foot leash. But anyways, so he just starts darting back and forth and getting all fucking hyped up. And then when you want him, I'm like, okay, well, like this one time, there's like 4 kids. They came up riding on their bikes. They parked their bike and they were fucking coming up to the dog. And then I'm like, okay, maybe if you come up one at a time or whatever. Like, because you might be freaked out because there's so many. So one of them came up and I'm like, yeah, let him snip your hand or whatever. And then like, he's again, super excited. And then he goes to like, try to fucking bite the kid's hand. Like, he's not going to actually bite him, but still I have to fucking pull him away. So yeah, that's the other thing I'm doing is trying to being used to being around people to where it's a regular occurrence.
And he understands that you don't put your mouth on people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's another thing I started doing is we'll go to the park and just, again, not bringing them all the way up to people, but being within 40, 50 feet or whatever. And just, letting know, like, this is a regular thing. This is not a big deal. Nothing to get freaked out about. The other day, like I was just getting off to get cigarettes or whatever, like the fuel center outside the grocery store. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to take him here because, it's kind of being around people. There was nobody in line. So I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm going to do this. And as I'm checking out, this little lady comes up and, I feel a jerk on the thing because, of course, he's wagging his tail and he wants to fucking meet her. But yeah, that one actually went okay. Like he was licking her hand. He didn't try to bite her. He let her pet him, all that shit. But yeah, that's basically what I've been doing. Other than that, I park at different spots. Like around here, because again, like especially where I live, there's desert fucking everywhere around here, just open desert. So I'll fucking drive the truck out somewhere, park on it, and I just let him wander. Like he's on the leash, he's on the leash, but I tell him, I'm like, go wherever you want to go, and I just fucking go, let him wander wherever.
Yeah, that's
like
one of the nice things about getting those super, super long leads. Yeah, we used to do that.
Yeah, I want to get a longer
one. My brother's husky. We put it on like 100-foot lead, and then it's technically on a leash, but it gets to run all over the place and enjoy the beach. And it was a super friendly dog. It wasn't going to attack anybody or anybody's dog or anything or fuck with their stuff. So
yeah, I definitely want to get a longer because the 6-foot thing is but
even like a 20-foot leash is a lot of fun. I mean, it sounds like maybe a 20-foot is where you want to start with your dog.
Yeah, that would probably be ideal. But yeah, the picture I just posted, the reason I posted it is I don't know what the fuck that plant is. But he fucking, dude, he loves those plants, dude. He loves sniffing these plants, dude. He will, like, sometimes he'll sniff it for a few seconds, move on to the next one. But there's times where he just
looks like a fucking bush to me.
yeah, but they're all over here. Bunch of them. It's like creosote bushes, and this thing is fucking everywhere out here. But anyway, dude, I've tried to wait to see like how long he'll fucking keep sniffing these bushes, and I get to like 5 minutes, and I'm like, Jesus, all right, we gotta go, dude. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be patient.
You're like,
and
I
wait
want
for
you to get your
spot.
Full sniffing satisfaction here, my friend.
Yeah.
What you're asking?
Yeah, because from what I've
unacceptable.
Yeah. Well, I was curious to see like how long would he do this. And it turns out I'm not sure exactly how long, but it's at least 5 minutes. Yeah, but yeah, I mean that's part of what because I watch a lot of videos and shit too. They say like, yeah, you don't want to just walk your dog and then you're just walking, nothing's happening. Like, let him investigate smells and shit. Like let him stop and smell shit. Any fucking pole we come across, whether it's like a light pole or a stop sign little pole or whatever, he constantly stops. Yeah. I assume every dog's peeing on him. Hydrants, obviously. Like that's not there's a reason these tropes, not tropes, but whatever. These whatever the fuck you call them. Yeah, dogs love hydrants. They love pissing on hydrants, dude. So I let him fucking stop and sniff that kind of shit. But yeah, I really want to get done with the biting. I really want the biting to stop. Yeah. So yeah, I bring him out and have him as part of that. And he's getting really good about not biting or trying to bite, when she's petting him and shit. So it's progress, but we'll see. Yeah, or any hole too. Jesus Christ, because there's all kinds of shit that lives in holes out here. So I don't really let him investigate those for very long because I don't know what might or might not be in there.
Don't need a scorpion or a snake bite or some crazy shit.
Yeah. So I don't really let him investigate those.
I don't need the vets to have a new mystery.
Yeah. One trip to the vet was scary enough, dude. Or at least having to take.
No, you need more.
I thought he was literally going to die.
You haven't had nearly enough visits to the vet. Hold up. I don't think so.
All right. What do you got?
Oh, I don't have any extra. I don't have anything to add to that. I just
okay. Jeez. But yeah, he definitely, at first he was really skittish. He hadn't ridden in fact, the last time, before I started doing this, I think the last time was when I took him to the vet. So he's probably understandably a little apprehensive at first. But yeah, now he just fucking loves it, dude. It's fucking great. Yeah, a couple nights ago I was riding, because there's like shit that used to be all desert, but now there's like paved roads out there, just like a mile up from where we live. And I was cruising around those roads, and there's like a house like every fucking half mile or something. So it's these paved roads that are essentially deserted for the most part. There's very little traffic. So I was just riding around with that, and he ended up when I'm on those roads going really slow, I'll kind of let him, like at first he would like put his like front paws like on my right leg, because he wants to look out the other window. Because I leave the windows rolled down so he can stick his head out or whatever.
Yeah.
But dude, the other night it was so fucking because he's normally so fucking hyper. But this one I was kind of just again driving really slowly along the roads, just kind of killing time or whatever. But yeah, he ended up crawling all the way over, and he literally had like his two front legs on my forearm, with his head resting on my left forearm, like kind of looking out the window, but just fucking sitting there, just chilling, dude. So like he's entirely in my lap as I'm driving, and just fucking, dude, just loving it. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's nice to see
after for like 20 minutes.
Trading as effective. Plus, there's a lot of behaviors that, when you're dealing with a puppy, are going to just go away. Like, it's not super uncommon for like a lot of bad behaviors to suddenly just poof.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of it's the youthful exuberance. Yeah, it's just him being a puppy and being super excited about literally everything. So yeah, I assume he's going to mellow out a little. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, that was just pretty cool. I'm like, God damn it, I love this little fucking pupper. He keeps shitting in my mom's. Like, I take him out here to the side yard, like fucking. Now I've gotten to the point where I'm taking him to like for a little walk in the desert, like right before I bring him out.
Yeah.
Because literally, like within 5 minutes of getting here, he shits in the fucking side yard. So I have to fucking pick it up and do all that.
Dispose of it.
So now I've learned that I need to take him somewhere and walk him for 20, 30 minutes or whatever until he shits.
We had like an old laundry detergent bucket and like a scoop thing that you could buy for dog poop to pick up.
Yeah. I just take a bag and fucking scoop it up. The inside out thing.
The dog poop was supposed to go in the yard waste bin.
Oh, right.
So that's why there was a bucket. Like my mom would like
a compost kind of thing.
Throw it in the green yard waste buckets that we got from the dump. Yeah. Well, like your branches, your yard waste, your kitchen scraps. So yeah, sort of compost, I think. Yeah. And
my mom has a section in the backyard for that. Throws all the peels and shit for her little garden she has over there. Yeah, a couple days ago, she had this. I don't know what the fuck it was. Some kind of desert plant that had like these purple flowers on it. It was pretty small, but it had it had bloomed out pretty well. Didn't look all that healthy.
Yeah.
And I'd taken him out a bunch of times, but this day he just grabbed that shit by the base and ripped it out of the fucking ground.
Damn.
So that was fun. Yeah. Just carrying it around. So I'm like, okay, obviously he didn't it required very little effort on his part to rip it out of the ground. So obviously it wasn't all that healthy, but still, I'm like, oh, dude, come on. But whatever. He's getting there.
Long as it works, as long as at the end of the day you're all set.
Yep. Okay, I'll stop talking about him. Sorry. Felt like working it in.
Have anything else to go over? Let's see.
Yeah, that was the other thing. I'm like, all right, I don't have anything to talk about. I'll fucking annoy stab you with my puppy stories.
Oh man, did somebody brought up Weird Science the other day, the movie?
Oh yeah.
And for some reason it popped back into my head. I'd forgotten that one of the characters literally gets sent to hell.
Wait, who
Like
gets sent to hell?
At one point,
I don't remember that.
So there's the two guys that bring the lady to life with the military software via like the internet by accident. Like that's how she's created. And apparently she grants wishes. Like a fucking genie for some reason.
Yeah. Oh, okay, right.
But they're like not meant to be fucked up. Like they're just sort of indiscriminate. Like there's no attempt to fuck you over with them. And so one of the guys' older brother like shoved him in a locker and was, fucking with him and everything, and she's like, I really think it's time you let out, and he was like, I really wish you'd go to hell, and then he just vanished. Because he literally just got pooped to hell real fast with the fucking weird science fucking wish magic stuff that apparently is part of the super secret powers of the fucking crazy witch lady.
Yeah. Kelly LeBrock. The one that they made on her computer. Yeah.
How did they make her? Like, what was it fucking...
It's on their computer somehow.
Okay.
Some stupid shit.
I'll have to try and see if I can't do the same thing.
Damn it, how do I get back?
I just saw something. Oh, did you see Razor Fist's video on Lincoln?
No, I saw you post it, but I fucking never got around to watching it.
Shit, Lincoln was a pile of dog shit.
Really?
Yeah, apparently he was super fucking racist too.
Yeah, no, I had heard that he definitely thought black people were lesser than or whatever.
And his dad was a slave taker.
Yeah, god damn.
But no, he apparently said shit that even some of the other really racist people were like, hey, buddy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought there was something at the time.
Those are inside your head thoughts, all right?
Right.
Mr.
Yeah.
Lincoln.
Yeah, that's the part you're not supposed to say out loud, dude. Yeah, so I guess it is worse, because I was kind of assuming that most people were back then. That they did, well, at least didn't think highly
no, people
of
were
black
not
people.
super cool. Well, it's like one of the things that was tested was what would be like the worst place to live if you were a slave, and apparently it's the North. Anywhere in the North.
Wow. That's fucking nuts, dude.
Yep, crazy shit.
Fuck. UPS truck is backing up into our driveway. I don't know if that
they're
means
about to drop the bomb, baby.
Or they're just doing it to turn around. Looks like it's just one package. All right, give me a second. Ooh. Put that down. How's it going? All right, thanks much, man. You too. All right, that was pretty uneventful. I was thinking he was backing up because he had some huge thing to deliver or something. Apparently not.
You guys still talking about dogs?
Looks like it's got your name on it, Mom. Keep it upright then, I guess. All right. Okay, sorry, guys. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, you got some sort of like rustling noise going there, Mr. Dave.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's sorry. Yeah, I was walking in pretty quick with the package, so that's probably what it was.
No.
Now I'm gonna mute myself, which I should have done before while I pee.
Man. So my mom made these chocolate chip cookies that are so sweet. And she realizes it was the wrong recipe. There's just way too much sugar in these cookies.
Uh-oh.
So disappointing. And then we got cake. We have gotten so much fucking sweets and sugar since like the beginning of Thanksgiving till now that it's like, can we be done? Can we stop having cake? Can there be no more for a while?
I mean, the New Year's resolution needs to be kicking in at some point. We're still in January.
Just the take a fucking tolerance break before the diabetes kicks in, you know?
This concept of too sweet angers and confuses me.
Well, it's like, you know, there's a difference between a sugar cookie and a chocolate chip cookie, right? Like the texture and stuff.
Yeah.
These are like chocolate chip cookies that are the texture of sugar cookies. And more of the flavor of the sugar cookie.
Yeah, that does sound like a bit of overload.
They don't tend to lead toward tasty. Well, I mean, they're tasty, I guess, but
it's
not
too
the
much.
same satisfaction you get from a chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah. Do you use milk chocolate chips or semi-sweet?
Semi-sweet always.
Dude, milk chocolate chips, dude.
Oh, but I like dark chocolate, so no.
Oh, okay.
Never milk chocolate chips. Sorry.
Yeah. If you're a fan of dark chocolate, I guess. But, dude, milk chocolate chip cookies, fucking greatest, dude.
It's like usually in Christmas we get one of those like orange chocolate oranges in your stocking or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I actually went out of my way to find like some dark chocolate ones to order.
Yeah, dark chocolate's not. Well, I'm not a big fan of it, but with like mint, like a peppermint patty. Almond Joys are good. I like those. Those are dark chocolate.
Well, I like dark chocolate just on its own.
All right, there's something fucking wrong with you, dude.
Yeah, I'll just eat just regular dark chocolate. And if I have to choose between milk and dark chocolate, I'll always go in the dark chocolate route.
Oh yeah, no, you're nuts, dude.
Oh, dude. Okay.
Your opinion is wrong. Your tastes are wrong.
I just remembered I forgot to share something. The game has the dwarf game with they has beer you can make for the dwarves, and they work faster when there's beer. Like they'll go and drink the beer and then work really fast, but then they'll eat the food really fast. And,
Gotcha.
I found out just the other day that they fucking they'll make wine just randomly. So like you don't make wine. Wine just appears in your inventory, and I figured it out. Like you put these little barrels out there, and every once in a while your fucking dwarves just on their own through none of your own commands will just make secret wine.
That's fucking awesome. It's like a fucking prison yard.
Exactly, like prison yard wine, but for fucking dwarves. Like, you don't command them to make it. You don't even have the recipe. You can't. They just periodically will just sneak over and be like, we're going to throw some berries in this barrel pie, and then fucking wine shows up.
All right, there's some berries, there's some yeast, go to work.
I thought that was cute. Like, they're so fucking alcoholic that they're like secret brewing.
Yeah. Like, we like getting fucked up with the beer and all. Let's try something different. Maybe some mead. Throw some honey in there. Let's get some mead action going.
Oh, they love their booze. The fun thing is, though, is, because it's beer, like, they get better at what they do. So they all go faster, hit harder, can take more damage, like, fight back better when they're fighting. It's pretty fucking fun.
Yeah. It's kind of weird that it makes them eat more, though. That's not generally how beer works.
You don't like always want to have a fucking snack when you're like something salty and sweet or something when you're had a lot to drink.
Yeah, well, most I guess I'm thinking actual alcoholics here, but yeah, they tend to not eat at all till like very late at night, like right before they're gonna fucking crash. They'll actually eat food.
Yeah, I remember like basically like whenever I was hanging out with people, we were partying like and drinking. Like sooner or later, somebody always wanted fast food.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, oh, we gotta go get like Carl's Jr. or Jack in the Box or Burger King or whatever, whichever brand they like.
Yeah, we would usually go to like a Filiberto's or some fast Mexican food place,
or you get pizza delivered or something. But everybody always wants some like greasy, gnarly fast food of some kind.
Yeah, but it's again always at the end of the night or what.
Yeah. It's always the end of the night. Yeah. I just assumed that was like the thing that a lot of people that drank did, because most of the people that drank, at least when I was still drinking, that seem to be the pattern.
Yeah. Yeah, it would never be like, all right, we got like, it's like 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock when we should eat. It's usually like 2 in the morning, like, I'm going to eat something now. Good night.
Yeah. Soak up the liquor, make the hangover not quite as bad.
Indeed. Because it turns out there's generally a lot of calories in alcohol.
Oh, yeah, definitely a lot of calories in alcohol. Because these are all based off of sugar.
Yeah, lots of sugar.
Indeed.
Indubitably.
Indeed. So we winding down?
Yeah, I can't really think of much else to go over that we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah, you missed me talking about the puppy again. So.
That's fine.
Unfortunately.
Oh, I'm sure that was an accident.
That was good.
Oh,
no, we hit the low.
shucks.
I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to talk about the puppy since no other topics are coming up.
Well, you guys been hearing what's going on with the World Economic Forum? There are little meetings going on right now in Davos.
Yeah. More ways to try to control us all?
Well, yeah, but apparently there's fewer people there this time than there was before.
Maybe because they recognize that a fucking reckoning might be coming?
Maybe. So, sorry, I'm eating right now. So you guys heard about how Trudeau wasn't invited this time?
Yeah, you were saying something about that earlier, because he was the pretty boy that they liked.
Yeah, so he's not invited. Christine Freeland went, though, so there is that. However, certain other people who were invited didn't show up, like Bill Gates. He usually goes to these things. This time, not so much. Didn't go. Oh, that's interesting. Don't know why.
Huh.
Who else didn't show up? A few other people didn't show up.
Any theories about why he didn't show up? Or they said anything? Or not really?
Not really. We can only speculate. He didn't even say representatives or anything. He just didn't show up. But what they also know,
I would imagine there's a lot of people who are starting to look at these people from the World Economic Forum and thinking like, one bullet, and I could solve a lot of problems.
Yeah, like if you're associated with that, you're probably not to be trusted.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned about the whole bullet thing because they actually did increase security this time.
Because sooner or later, people are just going to want to kill him. I mean, it's not like I'm not saying this is like an encouragement thing. I'm just saying I'd be surprised if there's not at least 20 fucking nutcases out there who are like making plans to get there and like fucking scoping out the building they're going to be in and finding plans online and maybe they haven't done anything yet, but sooner or later, some people are going to start being like. Well, we got to deal with these guys. There's no other way.
I think they saw that coming because they increased the security there, so there was like at least 5,000 officers. Now that's a lot of officers just for this little small town.
Yeah,
so that's a fair bit.
That's got to be more than the attendees by far, isn't it?
It's hard to say, but because we don't really know who's all there and
there's a reason that the Economic Forum never meets in the U.S. because in the U.S. they can't control who is and isn't allowed into like that town for the day or the weekend or whatever their period they're doing.
Well, it takes place in Switzerland, and it's not exactly easy to get to. It actually costs a fair bit of money just to travel there, along with hotel rooms and all that. It's not a cheap place, so the fact that there's more journalists there now. Is quite something because they probably see that there is a point.
More and more people are interested in the World Economic Forum for sure.
Absolutely. So yeah, we have the more people showing up. We have more reporters, but the reporters who were also there were taking footage, and it turns out there's a lot more snipers on the roof than there was before. And yes, they did have snipers at the last one. So Yeah,
See, that's what I'm
that's
saying. People are mad, and with good reason.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of these policies have contributed to a lot of people's deaths. So you know, if like you're, and I don't know any details here, but I'm just making it up. I'm just saying like so if like maybe like your fucking baby sister died and you're like in your early 20s or something.
Yep.
You know that there's not a lot of people who wouldn't end up with a fucking rifle trying to fucking figure out how to get to those people if they thought that was the cause of their sister dying or maybe like their mom or something.
They're definitely inspiring a lot of vendetta there, dude.
Yeah.
Well, the CEO of Pfizer was there, and Rebel News, Ezra Levant, and Avi Levine, whatever his name is, the Australian guy. They were like following him and trying to give him trying to ask him questions. He didn't answer a single one, none of them, and they were asking all the questions we want to hear, like when did you know the vaccine didn't work? What do you have to say about the rising case of myocarditis in fully vaccinated people?
Oh.
Those kind of questions. He didn't answer a single one.
Questions
Just kept
that are
walking.
really, really relevant right now.
Yeah. And questions that he would never like the friendly media never ask him those questions, but independent ones, they're going to ask him. So that was quite something. It didn't look good because he was walking along a fairly long sidewalk and he was trying to find a building to just run into.
Damn.
Yeah, it was something.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say they're also I think it was the CEO of AstraZeneca was also there. Same issue. Couldn't get any questions. The guy was just almost running. So it was fascinating.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's probably a prudent fucking choice. Yeah, I'm wondering, did any of them ask how they managed to cure the immune for the fucking vaccine?
Yeah, sorry, you cut off there. What was that?
Oh, I said, did anybody ask them about how they managed to get the immunity from prosecution or whatever, or being able to be sued or anything for the vaccines?
I think so, but again, they wouldn't answer any of those questions.
Yeah, I knew he wouldn't answer it, but I was like, man, they had to ask him that, right?
They had to. Someone had to ask the question.
Yeah.
Yep. Fucking.
I'm trying to find that Pfizer thing where the guys were asking the questions.
One of the news agencies on Twitter, YouTube, or whatever that tends to be sort of like real conservative, sort of like Project Veritas, like real conservative, not fake conservative, like a lot of them are. Because there's a lot of people who will pay lip service to whatever as long as it gets an audience and they can sell whatever product they got.
So I just posted. Yeah, sorry. I just posted in general a video. For some reason, it's not on the Rebel page. So this is on the Rubin report. Just fast forward past Rubin, you can see for yourself. The guy just will not answer a single question. Just keeps walking.
Sort of like the guy who's talking to China and he's like, so what's going on about Taiwan? And the guy just keeps going as if the guy had said nothing.
Yep.
Wow.
And then, it looks like we're breaking up. Gotta go. Bye.
The other thing to keep in mind that was also going on with the Economic Forum is that they had a whole panel talking about environmental crises and stuff. Which, by the way, if you actually listen to what they were saying, it's fear porn. They are saying the most fearful things. We're on the verge of the end of humanity. We need to blah blah blah. Really.
And none of it is true. That's the part that really gets me. It's like the people in California right now, because we're having flood weather instead of drought weather for this year. People are like, global warming. That's been the pattern for California for fucking ever, you retards. It's been a case where we get droughts and floods intermittently all the time. That's not new.
Yeah, fires. Yeah,
that's all stuff that's happened before and has always happened and will always happen. It's not. some sort of fucking magical new thing that suddenly just started happening out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Those fucking silly motherfuckers.
I was also going to mention that the environmental panel I was talking about, there was a camera pan over the crowd, and they were comparing it to the same one as the last World Economic Forum. So
Yeah.
the last one, the room was full, just tons of people in there. They have to hear about all this climate alarmism. They go into there this time, not even half of it is full. Not even half. That is a drastic decline in the amount of people going. So, yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, well, and the other thing is, like all the global warming stuff, it's like, well, yeah, but the globe has warmed and cooled periodically over the life of the globe. Like forever. Like that's not a new thing either. It's like all this stuff is stuff that's always been happening. So I think people are starting to wake up to that because they're getting to hear, maybe via the internet, like more real science and less just whatever, they want you to hear.
Yeah, I'll be honest, for most of my life, I assumed that, like, the environment was just going to be wrecked with 20 years and believed it. I'm like, wow, we better start doing some shit. And turns out there's just a lot of money to be made in fucking climate science somehow.
Yeah.
Well, it's always getting debunked, and then they have to change it to something else. Like when I was a kid, I remember that the big scare was the hole in the ozone layer. It's like really bad, and then then that kind of got debunked at some point, and then it was like greenhouse gases. Well, then that ended up getting debunked. And then I think that's when they started moving on to global warming, which is a little harder to debunk because it's technically a correct term. It's just not, as scary a thing as they're making it out to be.
Yeah. Well, they stopped using that because it was, they're like, well, now we just call it climate change. Don't call it specifically warming or cooling, but now we can claim any extreme weather event is due to climate change that's man-made, instead of just the warming trend or whatever.
Yeah, I think they're trying to say it's a climate catastrophe now, and so we need to do something about it.
I think you mean climatrophy. Sorry.
Climastrophe?
Climastrophe, yes, that's what I was aiming for.
I got your back, dude.
All right. The pun was solid, the delivery was not. My bad.
I was thinking, do I dare try to pair it with like climax? It's like it's a climax catastrophe.
Climax catastrophe. I like that. That works.
It's like
climastrophe. Climastrophe, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen,
they get so ecstatic about the fucking everything's gonna go. We're all gonna die. We're gonna be on a planet that's burning eternally like hell.
Yeah, they're just revving up. Everything we had there was foreplay. That's why we're on the verge of climax. It's climax.
Yeah, that would make sense. It's like, no, we're not that bad. And a lot of people don't understand like how important like the prices of like the energy is what really can hold back a lot of middle class and lower class people from being middle class. And
the only reason we're holding. And the only reason we're holding out as long as we are is because we haven't had like a really, really cold winter so far, like in different parts of the world. Because like in Europe and the UK, they're having energy crises because of the whole oil thing. And then we have the whole stuff going on with Ukraine. The only reason why they haven't called out Russia is because they need Russia for the oil, for the energy, so they don't freeze to death.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they really need oil at the moment. And so, like a lot of people are trying to call out to Saudi Arabia. Problem with Saudi Arabia and all their oil, their oil stuff's about to go dry. They're losing out on lots of oil. So,
well, and the thing that sucks is like the U.S. and Canada are both countries that could be oil independent. And if we were oil independent, it would be a lot cheaper for a lot of the families that have. Money problems and they're like in the lower classes.
By the way, I see you pulled up Discord and I see the general there. Is the video I posted not coming up for you?
When is this?
It's directly below it, below the one with the dog in the bush.
I see the video. Is it not showing up on the YouTube?
No, it's not.
Oh, on the YouTube it should be playing Craft the World.
Yeah, well, it's showing your Discord right now.
Oh, weird. I was on Craft the World. It should have been. That's what should have been played. Is it not switching back? I have to do some stuff anyway because I fucking deleted the pictures by accident. So I mean, I gotta fuck around with a lot of shit anyway. But it should be after a short delay switching back.
Maybe Discord's just not working.
Yeah, maybe I did something wrong.
That's because they started talking about the World Economic Forum, dude. It's a conspiracy. They're coming after our wildly popular stream to shut us down.
Clearly. Well, I guess we'll talk about other conspiracy-related stuff. Apparently, they're vaccinating the meat. So if you didn't want the vaccine, you're getting it through your meat products now.
Wait, so
Fuck.
Yeah. It's been, I don't know how long it's been going on for, but yeah, no, they said that well, we can't vaccinate the unvaccinated, so we're vaccinating them through their food. So they're vaccinating the meats, and they're putting the vaccine in. Was it grains? So like aiding in the factories and stuff. I don't know who's participating in all this. An investigation is going to be going into it.
I don't think that's a thing that can happen, though.
It already is. And
no. You don't understand what I'm saying. I don't think you can put vaccines in meat and then use that to vaccinate people.
Well, they're vaccinating the animals.
I'm pretty sure, room temperature destroys the efficacy or the ability of the vaccines to do anything, much less your fucking oven or your frying pan.
Well, I don't know the process.
Yeah,
I don't know
what mRNAs. I don't think they would survive it because that was a big problem. Like, I don't know if you remember, there was a big story where literally thousands of people had to go and get vaccinated again because some people didn't refrigerate the vaccine properly before shipping it at one point.
Oh yeah,
and it was totally ruined. So I don't think you could put it in meat and give it to people.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how the process is. Again, this isn't stuff that I think that they should be doing, and I don't know how they're doing it. I'm not saying I'm an expert. I'm just saying that it's essentially been. I just heard it was earlier today actually that this is going on. I don't know if it's working. It might not be. There might not even be anything to worry about. I don't know. But the fact that they're trying.
I'm just saying, it's an interesting story, but I just wanted to point out, the science behind that doesn't really.
Well, it depends on the delivery method. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying they're killing the animals and then putting it in. No, they're giving it to the animals.
No, they're giving the animals vaccines. I know that.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, I don't think, anyway, I wouldn't be worried about it, honestly. That sounds a little more out there. Well, then again, who fucking knows,
Well, we do know that it does cycle through. What I mean is, if a lactating woman takes breast milk, that the vaccine, traces of it are in the breast milk. And it does transfer to babies.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I mean. It's something kind of like that. So if you put it into the meat, or into the animals, and then
the milk would make more sense, like cow's milk.
Maybe. I mean, for sure. Again, I don't know. I just know that they are doing it. Now, granted, investigations are going into there. Who knows for how long? I wouldn't be surprised if it was Bill Gates' farms who are doing it, because Lord knows that guy loves vaccines.
Yeah, or Monsanto. They're always behind some squirrely shit.
Well, there's more and more people who are starting to investigate those mystery clots.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you saw what happened to the Buffalo Bills player, right? A few weeks back.
This is the one that had the spontaneous heart attack that was clearly not related to anything other than just pure chance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it had nothing to do with any vaccination. That's one thing we can absolutely be positive of. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he literally was dead. He literally had no heartbeat, no breathing. They had to resuscitate him on the field, and then again about 10 minutes later, I guess, in the fucking ambulance.
Yeah, supposedly
but
he
fucking
got hit
pulled through
just the right way to stop his heart for no reason.
Yeah, it happens to guys in the, world-class athletes in their early 20s.
All the time.
Totally normal thing that happens, dude.
To be fair, and I do want to make at least this one point, there's a lot of fucking steroids involved in a lot of these sports, and it could be that that kind of shit is starting to cause heart issues too.
Yeah, no, they definitely take a lot of fucking.
I don't think that's the
case. They test for that, but yeah, they're probably taking some shit that can't be traced or whatever that's fucking them up, also giving them benefits, but also killing them.
Oh,
so yeah, it is really possible that he was taking some shit that they can't test for. That was helping, but also again fucking up his heart. That is definitely a possibility.
Oh, This is fucking hilarious. One of the functions in the game is Pandora's chest. It'll just a random shit happens whenever you open it, and it just pops in every now and again, giving you the option to open it. And so this one was something random but terrifying and exciting that we don't know what it is happened.
Oh, all right.
Essentially, it's just like trying to make the player concerned, like so that you don't know what the problem is, so you start looking and trying to figure it out.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, that's funny. I appreciate that. That's pretty funny. Like that's kind of clever. The game is basically gaslighting you. It's like, all right, cool, I get it. That's funny.
Yeah, I don't know why, but it reminded me of that Stippy episode where you had to guard the history eraser button.
Oh God.
What's going to happen? Nobody knows because you're going to guard it. Maybe something good, maybe something bad.
But nobody knows.
So obviously he ends up pushing the button,
I mean, fuck yeah, dude. I could never be a button guard because it would only take like 5 minutes. And I mean, what is it? I don't even need to know what the button is. I'm probably going to hit the goddamn button.
Yeah, I got to know what that fucking does, dude. There's no way. Leave me with a mystery button and not have me push it? It's fucking cruel.
That's weird. On my stream, I'm just seeing the video game most of the time.
Oh shit, I should have checked that too.
Oh, you know what? It is about time
I have
to roll.
the device right here in my hand. All right.
It is about time to
roll.
Yeah,
actually, I'm going to go back and fucking get off for Safeway to get my fucking prescription done anyway, so.
Fun times.
Yeah, should probably call.
See what's going on at dinner.
Indeed.
Good idea.
So yeah, anybody that stuck around, I don't think anybody was here ever, but, bye-bye. That's